Babe, why does the sky matter? Why are boobs matter?
No, that's
Why are boobs matter?
It's not the same thing.
Can we talk about that wasn't grammatically correct? Why are boobs matter? Everything's matter, man. What do you mean why are boobs matter?
All right. Clear the table, grab the dice. Grizzly and Jesse are in the house. Welcome to Rolling Recklessly, where the battle lines meet the sky. May your cribs be high, may your pain never dry, and your rolls be ever reckless.
Tighten your range, cinch the saddles, and grab your dice. Grizzly and Scarecrow are back in the Mortal Realms, and today we're putting Cavalry on trial. Today, welcome back to Rolling Recklessly, the Warhammer podcast where the models move fast, the rankings get reckless, and somebody is always going to tell you their favorite unit is ranked way too low. Brother, this is a special one. We've got 1 year in Rolling Recklessly, man.
1 whole year of rolling recklessly. It's crazy how time flies in this hobby. It seems like, it takes a long time to progress, but here we are, 1 year. Total recklessness has bestowed us for an entire rotation around the sun.
Let's go. I love it. 1 year, you're right. That is wild, man. We've talked hobby, tournaments, list, dice disasters, bad games, lore, and everything in between. And the most important, we've gotten to build all of this with you guys, the Age of Sigmar community. The Discord, everybody who listens, shares, comments, and comes out and rolls some dice with us. We appreciate all of you.
Yeah, it takes a community to make this game work and make it so much fun. And this has been an awesome community to be a part of and to broadcast and report on and give our listeners an insight of what it's like to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome, man. So Papa Nurgle this week has chosen to bless me with some gifts. I wasn't feeling too good, so I do apologize last week for running a little late, but I'm super excited that we could get this together going for our 1 year anniversary because we're doing something super different. I'm very hyped for it. Today's going to be our very first edition of Ranking Recklessly. We're counting down our top 10 cavalry units in Age of Sigmar. 5 picks from me, 5 picks from Scarecrow, and a few notable mentions. And absolutely no guarantee your favorite mounted unit makes the cut.
Absolutely. When people are building their armies, sometimes they're like, I just want to throw in as much cavalry as I can. You know what I mean? And then some armies
I love the strat. We played that fucking Eagles list.
Some armies are lacking cavalry entirely, so they can't have that mindset. So, yeah, it's fun to rank what, our personal top 10 are. And it's funny to see what the community will say or how they'll agree or disagree.
Yes. So this episode comes with the warning. If you've met me and Jesse, we make some reckless takes. That's the theme of the show. And, this isn't factual. Don't necessarily take our word for gospel. You know what I mean? This is just what me and Jesse think. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it, though. Like always, before we get into the main segment of the show, I like to do This Week in Sigmar. All right, brother. Before we put Cavalry on trial, let's catch up on the week. Or in my case, this week, last 2 weeks, the Grandfather has blessed me and decided to steal some time from me. I got some sickness. I don't know. It's really gross. All of my family, got some blessings from Nurgle. And, everybody was gross. You might hear my voice is a little nasally. I do apologize for that. But I will say the nice thing that comes with, not feeling well is there's nothing else to do besides paint for me, man. That's
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna force myself to get some work in. I busted up my Aggradons, you know what I mean? We've made the commitment. We're today's the 24th, so we're almost a month into it. So we got until October 1st is what we said?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been trying to get some work in on this, my Aggradon Lancers. I put in, I finally I pulled out, I have 3 of them. I've kind of taken off the base, I primed them, paint them, hit them with several different layers. I talked about it a little bit last episode. Sure. I also the weird thing about Seraphon is they're such cool and great looking models, but they have just a lot going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have the scales you can do so much coolness with. They have a lot of you know how like the Stormcast have like all the fucking like skulls and bottles and like cross,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean, like symbols of like.
Regalia, you know.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They have a lot of that stuff, so it's like I'm going through and touching up all that stuff. I want all like the metal bits to be like a gold. I have like because I did like that. You know, they have like a red and yellow like kind of like color scheme right now.
Yeah.
And then I've done like all the metal bits like that like Stormcast gold. I really like it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Retributor Gold looks so good on every like model as a contrast to whatever the main color is. So you can't go wrong with that gold.
Well, I have the army paint. I have gold from Citadel, but I couldn't. They didn't have Retributor Gold when I went in there, and it's like the army painter like metal gold, but it's the same. It's ideal. It's like that like shiny bright gold. You know what I mean? But I've done that for like all like the like I've done that for like the saddle. There's like metal like armor bits on like the face and like little like gold like things hanging off. So I did that. I still need to do like there's like I don't know like leathery bits under like the saddle that like I'll probably do that like some kind of like either beige or like Casey was suggesting blue. I thought that might look cool because it'll really stand out against like the red and the yellow. I don't normally go like this kind of colorway, so I'm like not a big red fan.
Yeah, when you paint Cavalry, you have to paint all those saddle straps and you know what I mean, saddle bags and saddle sashes and all this different like accessories that go along with having a damn horse or a mount.
Exactly. Yeah, like the banner like or the guy who plays the instrument. They have like drums, right? And there's drums on the raptor. Super sick, super cool model. You know what I mean? Like they got our musician is super dope. But they've like got drums on the side, and like when I bought the models, they were already like built. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying to like squeeze in between like the drums on the raptor. You know, like I still haven't painted like the drums or like the banner or like the weapons. I haven't even really like started onto like the right. Nice thing was like when I got them, they were like there's like a little bit that connects like the butt to the saddle, so you can just take the rider off and like whoever I bought them like didn't glue them, which was nice for me. You know what I mean? So right now I have like the riders pulled off, and then I've been like just painting on those guys. How about you, man? Like I know it's been 2 weeks, so we've had like some time to like get some stuff done, and I seen you been putting in some work with your OBR, man.
Yeah. So the primary and most important thing was I secured another Mortec crawler. You know what I mean? That's the catapult, the bone trebuchet, if you will. And the rules are kind of written in where you were like you could benefit from having two, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so I was like, all right, I'm going to get a second one, and I saw one over at Hobby Forge. Shout out to Hobby Forge, got their new space. And before
you went to the new Hobby Forge?
I didn't get to go to the new space yet. They're still setting it up, but when I went over there were basically just the Warhammer stuff was still there, but everything else was moved over to the new space.
So well, they just I don't know if you've seen today, like you can go, it's like maybe yesterday, you can go to like the game side. And it looks like now they've opened up that spot where you can go, you know what I mean? Like see like all the Warhammer stuff. It's starting to look really good.
Man. Yeah, I can't wait to get over there when they finally finish it all. But and just in support of them and their move and, you know, just staying a steady customer. I went over there. I knew they had a Mortec crawler. It was only $80. I was like, I'm going to get that. And I had a game with Hawkins planned on Friday night. So I got home and I was too tired to build it. But my girlfriend was bored. And I was just like, will you build this? And she just said, yeah. And I was surprised. She just started building it. And I kind of just fell asleep because I was tired. And when I woke up, she was done. And she's like, yeah, that was actually fun to build. That wasn't a pain in the ass. And I was like, okay, cool. So at least I know if I want a third one. If I want to degen it out with 3 catapults,
it's not terrible.
I can make the dream come true. But yeah, there's that. And then I have my Mortis Reapers that, you know, I didn't have any black primer. I had this dull gold one that I used. So I used that instead. And I was like, what do gold bones look like if they were underneath some red or black cloaks? And
that's sick, dude.
I was like, they looked really good. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was able to do that. And I was like, perfect. it's scary, man, to like have to paint so much bone stuff, man. I've got like 15 horses that need to be painted. It's going along with our episode today of the importance of cavalry and needing it. And the last time I did a big cavalry unit was those Dracolith units that you saw. That I ended up running in Scorched Earth. Yeah. I had 4 of them, and they're beautifully painted. And I was like, okay, these was really fun. This was a lot. But I was like, I'm lucky that I have an army that's like elite. It's like, oh, you're a cavalry unit reinforced with 4 models. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I started getting into my OBR where I was like, oh, my goodness gracious, this is a lot of horses.
Yeah. No, I believe it, especially because before, that's the nice thing about when you're like an elite army, I'm painting 5 trees, bro. Like, I'm good. You're painting 4 dragons. You're solid, And now that we're running like these more like like just more units, I guess. I'm used to now. I got some little more board control.
Absolutely. Like, when you're running MSU, you have so much on the field. It's like crazy. I'm like, wow, it's a lot to kind of manage sometimes, you know what I mean? When you have
4 activations as opposed to 2.
Yeah, it's so much, and it can make the game a little bit long. It can make the game a little bit confusing. You can forget things easily. But I've been having a ton of fun with them. The catapult, was fun to play with. But yeah, I'm wondering how I can paint these 2 bone catapults differently enough to where I can be like, hey, this is this catapult, that's that catapult.
Well, one thing I noticed I really liked was, I don't know if like that's adjustable, because when I went over and just was like watching you guys play, I did see Ali built it like the launching point like is a little different, like the arm or whatever that's like throwing the projectile. Yeah, and so it's like you can kind of see like is that part like
she built it in a way where you can adjust the arm to be in whatever position you need it to be.
Oh, see, that's dope.
Whereas the one that I got from the lot that I had bought, it's all glued in place. Everything is so.
Yeah,
that's where I can
my
look
big
at
boat. They're like the little guns are like I can adjust them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
I bought another boat where it was like it's glued in place, like you said. Like I can't move these.
There's no modularity to it. Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't affect the game or anything. I'm like, okay, so this is the fixed cannon, and this is the adjustable one is the other one. So
yeah, well, like I like how you like moved it. Like when we were playing, you could see like, oh, there's this one over here and this one's over here.
Yeah,
I could see the one is like locked down where it's like before projectile, right?
Yeah,
like before it shoots. Yeah. And then the other one I seen you had like halfway up, and then it's got like the little counterweight that hangs to it. That I think, dude, that's such a sick fucking model.
I love it, dude. I was like, more tank crawler makes the army fun to play.
Yeah, it looked fun when I watched over. I came over. Speaking of like what we did, after we did a lot of gaming, and you've been fucking gaming nonstop. You got your gaming with Hawkins, and yeah, when I went over and saw that, man, and I really liked it. It was cool. You could just see like, dude, it's so many horses.
Yeah, it is, dude. And when you run them MSU, it's just so much movement and so much shenanigans, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
What battle plan did you guys play?
I forget what it's called, but it's the one where you have to grab like an ember and then like deliver it to a red objective.
That's the one that we were fucking playing too. Same
no
one.
way.
Yeah, where it's like the whole right side is like no man's land, right?
No, we had it where it's like it's kind of like L-shaped deployment.
And then you have to grab the ember stone. Oh wait, the one where you have to like run it and like get that to score.
Yeah, you have to run, pick it up, and then get back to your home objective.
Oh, so the one we were playing
it's like a relay.
Yeah, I played Zach, which was fucking dope. But we played the one where it's like the ember stone, and you could use it as a buff. Like you could choose to crack it and use it as a buff. I still haven't played a lot of the battle plans, but that one we rolled that one, and I was like, I don't want to play that one. Can we play something else?
Ours was like, if you end your turn on the gold objective, you can move 6 inches away, like towards like your home objective. And then you take it back to your home objective, like capture the flag.
It's like that football one you were talking about when you played. You were like, it's like the one that you played in your Path to Glory, right? Yeah.
I will say this. I feel like every time I learn one of these new battle plans, I learn by not scoring any of my tactics.
No, man, are you really struggling to score your tactics like that?
I am struggling like I am a newborn baby. You know what I mean? Like struggling to stay on my feet when it comes to tactics. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. None.
You didn't get any?
None. Now, granted, I got double turned by Ogre Maw Tribes. So, I'm
on turn 2, right? On turn 2. That's fair. Like,
double turned into turn 2 by Ogre Maw Tribes. I'm pinned into my back line. All of my tactics require me to be like. See, I would have loved to have a no man's land strip like your objective, but like your battle plan. But no, it was just straight half and half, and it was tough to even with my movement shenanigans to get past the ogres. And then he had Kragnos in the back line, so it makes things tough, bro. And I'm gonna figure it out. I know I say this every week. It takes time. If you have been struggling with this new GHB, if you have been confused, don't worry. I feel the same way. And I think
send us your tips, bro. Send us your tips. We need them.
It's crazy that people have competed once or twice already in this new GHB. And especially. I'm just gonna keep playing with my friends on the weekend.
We've had a lot of people, especially the people that we've been playing with, have actually competed. You know what I mean?
They're already adjusted well.
Have already done. I don't know, and even then, it doesn't seem like they know I'm the greatest. You know what I mean? They're one step above us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's only with the GHB is now about to be 2 months old. I think we're about to hit 2 months once we hit our 1 year. So people are still learning the battle plans. I think that's. For most people, that's 8 games, right? 2 months, 5, 10, say 10 months, really 10 games. You know what I mean? So unless you've done a tournament where you played, 5 games, those guys are going to have a big up. But at the same time, it's I bet you they were learning that battle plan at the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these new battle plans are I don't know, man.
They're not very clear what you're supposed to do right away. It's
just a whole other thing you have to think about in the game, right? And Scarecrow Guy ran a lot of times no, I've built my list. I can move around the battle plan, but I can still use my same thing. Now it seems like there are certain battle plans that favor certain factions, certain list builds, certain battle tactics. Definitely right. You know what I mean? So like you said, I had a no man's land, so getting Siege of Ash, easy right away.
Right. Yeah.
Me and Zach were both running the same tactics. But hold on, let's finish your game real quick. You and Hawkins, you guys, what was he? He was ogres, like you said.
The new ogres. New ogres is cool too. I see the models are cool, the rules seem cool. There's certain things that I felt like OBR kind of countered for them, which they have this maw pit thing, right? And
the cool maw pit. I really like the maw pit.
It works as a buff for them, that's 12 inches, right? And it's what it wants to do is it wants to sink other terrain within 12 inches. And then once it does that, it will do mortals to things that are around it, and then the buff extends. So they want this maw pit to just kind of be this anchor terrain that buffs the units that are near it while it spreads and does mortals. And I like that cool mechanic, right? But I had the 2 catapults, and my catapults have anti-faction terrain +1.
Oh, so, you're literally built perfectly against it.
So I'm built to just bomb it. And I told Hawkins that in the beginning. I was like, because he was going to put it right in the middle of the board. And I was like, hey, just so you know, these cannons right here, they have anti-faction terrain +1 rend. And then I can have a spell to give them rend, so it'll be effectively rend 3 against your terrain. These things can put 8 to 12 damage on you. And he's like, oh, all right, never mind then. And so he backed it up. So I was like, okay, that's good that I have that kind of to keep that maw pit back a little bit, because I was like, man, how much worse would it get if I was close to that thing and you'd have all the buffs? Because the units seemed really strong, you know what I mean? The butchers, the iron guts.
They're like giants essentially. You know what I mean?
Kragnos speaks for himself, whenever he's in any destruction list. You're like, oh, there's that huge hammer right there. And, it was a cool list. I can't wait to see some more. We only get to play 2 battle rounds, and that's why I didn't score anything. So maybe I'll just score some things on the back end. But we were both learning. He was learning the rules of his Ogre Maw tribe. I was learning the rules of my OBR with the Cavalry side. we'll talk about Cavalry in this episode. But it's fun to be able to move so far. You know what I mean? Stormcast move 5 inches, bro, mostly. If it's a winged unit. So it's nice to be like, oh man, half my army moves like 10 inches. I can make it go up to 13. Like, it's pretty nice. I like it. And I was like, I'm going to keep playing it. And here's the thing. And I think I said this to our good buddy Colin recently. I said, sometimes you just got to play casually until you start figuring things out. I'm glad we've played so many games casually because I've got to figure out this confusing GHB through really fun games and fun interactions and encounters. And there's so many good armies right now. It just seems so diverse right now. Everyone's playing something different. Everybody's on their way to something different. You know what I mean? I saw John over there playing Corn, and I was just like, man, that's a nice looking list there with 2 Bloodthirsters. It was like Scarbrand and a Bloodthirster. I was like, yeah, that's a nice looking list. It's a lot of fun, and so our game went 2 rounds. I will say this, on the flip side of that, Hawkins seemed to be scoring his tactics, so I'm glad I'm playing with him because he does a good job of helping explain to me what I'm supposed to be doing on the battle plan. And that was one of those ones where like we had to read it a couple times, and every time I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to be accomplishing this primary? And I like the new scoring where it's like 4-4-6 or whatever, because it makes it way harder to have a 10-point turn. And it makes that primary like not so guaranteed. And, especially coming off the double and you can't score your secondaries. He wasn't able to score as much in the second round. But, man, it really does suck when you don't know what tactics are like right for your army yet. It makes you question your decision-making process. It makes you wonder if you got this. How early is too early? How late is too late? Like, should I be accomplishing 2 things right away on the first turn? It's tough, man. And with OBR, I have to run like at least 3 regiments, I feel like. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I can see that. They definitely make a much more difficult army than like you were used to playing, especially
for
with
sure.
Play style.
Yeah, so I like that it's forcing me to learn the game from a different like approach than just like
definitely.
Deep strike in and attack. Yeah, it's a good way to learn the game. So I like it a lot.
So he finished. You said he tactics that you think he got like 4, 5?
He at least got 2.
2, nice.
The beginning steps of like 2 of his cards. He did.
That's like a real thing.
Have a lot of different ways to do mortals in different phases. So that one where you have to do the damage in 3 different phases.
Oh, yeah, catch the base with the base one. Yeah,
that one's a really good one for ogres, and so I saw how he accomplished that one easily. And then getting the 2 units on my side, everyone seems to be running that one, Siege of Ashes.
Yeah, Siege of Ashes is the easy one.
Crowd favorite. Yeah, crowd favorite. Siege of Ashes. I'm doing Siege of Ashes and flanking Firestorm. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to figure it out.
Flanking Firestorm looks really good. I've actually been looking at flanking Firestorm now that I've seen you run it. I was like, you know what? That would actually, if I'm going to change any of mine, it would be to that one. Yeah, I don't know what I would take, because I think I could do the flanking Firestorm and the Siege of Ashes probably easier.
Yes,
but because they kind of want you to do the same thing, just worded differently.
They want you to do the same thing, worded differently. And if you're an army that has lots of regiments and people are going to force you to go first, it's a good way to get set up. At least you're like, oh, I'm going to lose a unit or 2, but at least I scored, 20, 10 points off of them.
So I heard like another take on it, and one take is like people are now starting to like to go first because you can like go up and take your primary right away.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have any contesting.
Well, we've noticed that all the deployments just let you control 1 now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can only control 1, and then you have to like move your like guys into like that next base, right?
It's like I feel like GW in general, ever since the launch of 11th edition of 40K, is moving to this map design where they're like, you have this home objective that you are like absolutely on. And then you have this other one that's like an expansive objective where it's just out of reach, but closer to you than it is the enemy. And then there's a central objective where it's like, this is the one that like
You're gonna fight
it's
over
gonna be
this
hard
one.
to control.
Yeah,
and
you're
what
gonna
I'm
fight over
finding
this
out
one.
with these battle plans is it's a little bit of a way to gotcha yourself. Like you don't need to control that central objective right away if you go first.
Yep. Well, especially because a lot of them, like now, like the one we played, it was 3 if you controlled 1, 3 more if you controlled 2, and then 4 if you took 1 from your opponent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like control.
It decentivizes you
for
from
1 or
controlling
2.
more.
Yeah.
That's just more opportunity for them now. So that's where you're like, all right, I'm going to control my home objective and then this expansion objective. And now you have to either decide, do you have the tech to hit my home objective or are you going to commit to my expansion objective? And that's how I feel like the battle flow is. And where you're going to get better at the game, I feel like, is when you learn how to deploy with that in mind, right? Like, I got to capture my home objective, my expansion, and then the center. And hopefully hold my expansion and my home objective while capturing the center. But it's not, everything goes to shit in combat and in Sigmar. You know that. The dice will just they'll either favor you or they'll leave you. One of my cannons rolled 3 1s on their 4 shots.
Oh, no. It's like the obsession meme. No, I thought we were having a beautiful time.
And it was the one with the +1 Ren that went off on it.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, bro. It's like
that's the one that got
they know. Yeah, it's got the +1 Ren. It's ready to fuck you up. And it run one successful roll, and it was 3s and a 2s, bro. Like it was,
man.
It was as horrible as it sounds, but it is the game, And that would make me thankful that I was like, oh, I got the second cannon. We can still. I will say this.
Redundancy is nice.
I don't know if it was luck or whatnot, but the cannons, right? If they target you, it can give you a strike last on a 3 up if it's near my sorcerer, which they always were. A 2 up if they've been hit by a previous cannon. And I'm telling you, these gluttons never got to combat phase without having strike last.
Let's go. So
I would counter strike and hit the 5s, bro. I would counter strike and hit the 5s. He'd be like, "You're -1 to hit," and I'm like, "Okay." Well, I was already -1 to hit from the counter strike. I was like, "It's 4s now." He's like, "4s?" And I was like, "Yeah, usually it's 3s." He's like, "Dang," and I was like, "Okay." And I would hit him 5s, 6s, and then the 6s were crit, double hit. So I'd be like, "Oh, there we go. 4 shots went through." And I was like,
4 shots, yeah.
And sometimes he'd have 4 shots at Ren 2 coming at him, and then they were doing D3 +2 each. And I'm telling you, the cannons are so much fun. I was like, this is where the power is in the army.
Yeah, I can't wait to see once you get this all figured out. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a fucking problem.
Absolutely. I was like, especially if I think I'm gonna put the triaxes back in.
Yeah, you can run triaxes in the cannons. That's gonna be sick.
Just because when I was playing the ogres, bro, they have a lot of way to heal. They're like, I'm gonna eat you and then I'm gonna heal, and then this person over here is gonna drink this blood vat and he's gonna make everything around him heal. And I was like, son of a bitch, this is like playing Sylvaneth. Everything's fucking healing.
Oh, is it? That's how it is?
Yeah. Nice. But they're really cool. Ogres are really cool. They're really strong. The models are really cool. You don't have to get much built up. You know what I mean? I was like, it's a super elite army. I'm like,
yeah.
I did see that, Hawkins didn't bring the shooting side of the army, right? Nothing with cannons or.
I think they sunset those guys.
Did they? I think because I didn't even miss them. I didn't even notice. I was like, he had a really cool mounted unit. It was cavalry. Shout out to the theme of the episode, but his cavalry was really strong and really good. What was notable about them is they had 7 wounds apiece.
What was his cavalry? What is it
I wish I could remember what they were called because they were really, really, really good and they had really good abilities. And one of their other notable abilities was if you charge them, you don't count as you have charged.
Oh yeah. Okay, so me and Zach were talking about that, and that's pretty fucked. That's why.
Yeah, so I was like, that's a strong ass unit.
Is it the Morn Thing pack? It's the guys on they kind of look like those things from Star Wars.
Yeah, it's the elite version of that.
Oh, okay. It's like the stone horns and the
Yeah, those
Yeah, okay,
guys,
okay.
like, there's only 3 of them. See what I mean? There's only 3 models, but they have 7 wounds apiece, bro. And yeah, they were pretty memorable. So I was like, I don't know what this unit is, but if it were me, I would have lots of
Yeah. Nice. So
that.
how did you guys finish your game, especially against new ogres, man? You don't know what the fuck is coming. How did you
You
guys end?
know, unfortunately, Baby Jeans was ready to go after round 2, so we just kind of had to call it. But you know what I love about playing with friends is you can always be like, next week, mofo, and then
Yeah.
you're like,
What at a
next
certain
week
point too,
we'll
you
try
get it's
again.
like the game is like kind of like established. You're like, hey, sorry, man, I only have so much time. Like, let's try to learn what we can. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I always, you know, whether the game is 2 rounds or 5 rounds, I feel like when you play with an adept player with a fun opponent, especially a guy like Hawkins, like it's valuable. You know, it's not a waste of my time or his time. And yeah, I can't wait to play again. You know, ogres. I'm sure everyone's gonna be playing it. Everyone bought that FOMO box. You know what I mean? That
I seen
start
Dan
collecting
bought the
ogre box.
box, and yeah, it
Yeah.
does look like a lot. I know Cameron is gonna start playing ogres.
We talked about it on
So
the podcast, bro. We were like that box is if you were never ever gotten into Sigmar and that's the first product you got,
yeah, that's
how
you're gonna get some
spoiled
sick
are you
stuff.
now? You know
Yeah,
what
for real.
I mean? You know, I
Yeah,
started in 4th with new ogres. They're like, "Oh, you spoiled bastard."
you're like, yo, so you just got good shit right away. Nice.
Yeah. You never
Oh,
knew
it's funny.
struggle.
So it seems like the theme of this week for our games was destruction. You played ogres. I played Gloom by Gitz. It was cool. I
Destruction
got to
is
play.
represented, yeah.
They've been showing out, which is nice.
Allie played Iron Jaws.
Oh, nice, very nice. So lots of destruction then.
Lots of
Um,
destruction.
I played against Zach and his Gloomspike Gitz. He ran a lot. He like ran a lot of the list that I actually like, so it was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of squigs, no mangler squig. He
Okay.
had a bunch of like the like little goblins.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
shooters, 81.
Those guys
shots.
are 81.
81 shots, 4s and 4s, no
Okay.
rend.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a lot of shots, and you can see like he rolled the little dice, and I'm like, thank God you roll little dice, because like he had it all like prepped and ready to go. Like he's like, nope, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but
Like-
you are the player to have volume against, because if you just need somebody to roll like 1s and 2s, I'm like, Robert's that guy.
That's what I did. Thankfully, so he did like we played that. He did a lot of shooting. Thankfully, I was playing Sylvaneth, so it's been a
Oh.
long time since I got to play Sylvaneth.
Yes.
Like I said, I have my Aggradons I'm working on it, so everything is kind of like pulled apart. You know what I mean? Nothing's
Sure.
on base. Like I'm trying to get it all painted. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna play Sylvaneth just so I can run these guys. It's been a long time since I played Sylvaneth, but it felt right at home. I went right back into it, which was kind of nice. I did that fun list I showed you with like it's like Belthanos, reinforced swords, reinforced scythes, and then
The bows.
a regular set of bows, and then the next was the Scourge of Akshi Tree Lord Ancient.
Yep.
Gossamet Archers, Spite Revenants, and the Seekers, the ones that don't strike and fade, the ones that give you -1 to hit if you
Yeah.
fight them, or -1 to attacks.
-1 attacks. Okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't bad. Turn 1, we tied. It was we did the battle plan where, like I said, the whole right side, like the right 11 or 15 inches, you know what I mean, from my side to his side was no man's land.
Right.
And he ran the same battle tactics I ran Siege of Fire, or the Siege of Fire, right? Is that what it is?
Siege of Ashes,
And or Siege of Ashes and Burning Vengeance.
Burning for Vengeance, yeah.
Yeah.
Another one I feel like is a popular one, Burning for Vengeance.
It's just it's a lot easier. It's the one I scored. I actually scored 2 of those. I almost
Nice.
scored the third one, but he didn't table me. We got to a certain point because we played turn 1. We both got 15 points. We both scored our full primary. The way you score on that one is you score 3 for 1, 3 for 2, and then 4 for taking 1. You know what I mean? So each turn we were able to take 1 from each other. Turn 1 and 2, so we both got tied at like 30.
Nice.
And then he double turned me on turn 3.
Dang.
And that's where it's like, oh, okay. fuck,
Destruction
okay.
players are always looking for that double.
If they can get that double turn, and it was turn 3, and everything was set really nice for him. Like I think if I had gotten the turn, things would have it would have been a little different. I was still able to score 35 points, and then, like I said, by the bottom of
That's
by the
pretty
time
good.
once he got the double turn, because he was at 30. It was 35 to 30, so he was the underdog. Or no, it was 30 to 30, and then turn 3, I was like, yeah, I can at least score this because I already killed his little vigilant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that last part of 3 of when you kill the vigilant, you have to have 3 of your units wholly on an objective in your opponent's territory.
Oh wow, that's tough to get.
Super hard, so I couldn't get that one, but I did kill his thing. We didn't play out the whole rest of the game. Once he got to the double turn, I was like, I think you win. Just if you double turn me right now, I'll just tell you, like, if you double turn me, you win.
Wow.
Because you know what I mean. It was one of those. Everything was kind of set up. Had I had another turn, I could at least probably scored my primary and gotten both of my other objectives. The nice thing is like the secondaries like you said, man, they're hard to score, bro. Hard to score. So
When you're going first or being forced to go first, you like preparing for the double or setting yourself up for the double is kind of like an art. You know what I mean? Like you got to really be like careful. Yeah. I had some clutch manifestation casts that helped like my screen during the
They're
double.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yours is really good for like using your things to screen off. You're like, oh, you can't get over here at least.
Absolutely. The Nightmare Predator, the Soul Stealer Carrion, and that one, I forgot, it's like a skull. It's like they have big bases, bro, so they're perfect for like filling those gaps between my like screens. And yeah, they help to keep my cannon like safe during the double. Like even during the double turn, my cannons didn't get on, into combat.
Yeah. No, he and then Zach is, Zach's a very adept player. He's just really good at the game.
For sure.
So it was one of those, like, it was really cool to go up and play against him, I was happy he brought his Gitz as opposed to, like, something that could have been very oppressive. You know what I mean? So I was happy to play against him. It was like 35 to 66, which,
wow,
sounds like a significant loss, but I guess, like, it was only up until that point we were tied. We were literally tied. And like I said, had I gotten the turn at that point, I definitely could have won. I could see me scoring the rest of my tactics, basically.
Sure.
Unfortunately, didn't go that way. Like you said, sometimes dice rolls are dice rolls. He rolled a 6 for the priority on turn 3. I was like, motherfucker. And I rolled a 3. And then I was only 2 drops to his 3 drops, so he had the reroll.
It's undisputable, yeah.
Yeah,
damn.
So it's like, oh, there's no, like, nothing. And then, like, I was like, yeah, you've won. We were able to talk it out. Like I said, I was only able to score the 1 more because I killed the Vigilant.
Yeah.
I think I probably could have scored my part 2 of Siege of Ashes because I had a guy sitting in the back, but it just really wasn't worth, like, playing out. You know what I mean? It's just one of those, like, I don't want to give you a whole full turn to just wipe me and be like, okay, well, now I won. You know what I mean? And Zach's the type of guy, like, he'll for sure, he can do it. So it was pretty fun, though. It was cool to play against the Gitz because, I like Gitz. And he plays a very similar list to how I like to play. So it's like, cool, you're showing me like some cool secret sauce,
Absolutely. Like it's always fun to see your army in action, when you have aspirations to play it. So Gitz, they don't get as much representation as some of the other armies, you know what I mean? I get it. It's a lot to assemble.
Yeah. I will say he was like, man, it's just a lot of models. And I was like, dude, you're good. Just if you need to throw them up there, this is a friendly game. You know what I mean? So it's one of those, like, I'm not going to be over here like watching you like, no. You better scoot this guy back like a quarter of an inch, a fraction of an inch. Like, no, dude, like, I get the point. I get the intent. You know what I mean? We're not playing in a tournament. That was actually
the game's long enough without auditing the movement on 40 models.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's like just one of those, like, dude, get yourself into a position where it's like reasonable, and then just you can mush them all up there. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I also didn't talk about. So there's been a resurgence lately in Spearhead in my household.
Let's go! Oh yes, you had your thing at your house.
Yeah, so Allie's sister, shouts out to Sarah, and her friend Chelsea, shouts out to Chelsea, came over to my house to learn Spearhead. and they were playing with me and Josiah. Shouts out to Josiah.
Shouts out
And
Josiah.
Allie. And yeah, it just was so much fun that Allie's sister wanted to play Spearhead again, like 2 more times throughout the week. So she's been getting reps in. I had the Iron Jaws Spearhead with all the Ard boys, and I gifted it to her to try to, get her on board with playing Age of Sigmar, and it definitely worked. So
Give her that fever. Yeah.
it definitely worked, and it's exciting that she loves playing the game. So her and Allie have been playing on Fridays, and we had some games over at our house. So it's nice that Spearhead, even in 2026, 2 years into the new edition, is still fun. It's still relevant. It's still a great teaching tool. Spearhead, man, like it's amazing how much that game has done for like not only you and I, but Age of Sigmar in general. I think it brought a lot of people on.
Oh, definitely. It's just like the easiest way to get people going. You know what I mean? Into the game. And like, man, me and you, we played a lot of Spearhead. Remember, every Tuesday used to be Spearhead Day. A year ago, it was every Tuesday was Spearhead Night. Like, and that's what we did every week. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's very cool to see that it's like still going.
It's such a good after work format. Like, bitch, I ain't got all day and night. Like, 4 turns.
We can
yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun, bro. It's funny. I was playing Josiah, right? And I beat him with the new OBR one, the horse one, after he had tabled my whole army. Like, he had tabled me with the ninja rats, but I had accomplished so much. He's like, oh, man. He's like, the best I can do is make this charge and get a tie. And he's like, or I can lose the charge and then lose by 1 point. And I was like, all right, well, charge. Double ones.
Oh, that's
and I called Josiah Mr. Double Ones, and like he literally did it, and his only chance to win a Spearhead game, and I was just like, that is horrible, because he used that new Cities of Sigmar one.
Okay, yeah.
It's not very good.
Which Spearhead were you guys playing? Like which one?
We did the new City of Ash one. It's cool.
Nice.
I want it. We should get it. It's fun. Yeah.
We got to get it. At least
we got to get at least one. Yeah, it's good.
And then who comes with
I hate it. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Cool, I kind of like the rats.
Well, you can buy just the battle pack now.
Oh, yeah. You can just buy the box, which is the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to find it like on the aftermarket. You know what I mean? Like somebody who's like, I'm tired of these fucking things. Like, all right, I'll buy it.
Yeah, who bought that box? I'll buy it from you now.
Yeah, let me get half of your box.
Yeah, but the cities side of it seemed in stark comparison just like not as good as the Ninja Rats. You know what I mean? It's like, remember the original like starter box had like the Stormcast army, which was just brilliant, and then the Skaven one, which was just like you're the Skaven, but you don't get a cannon, you don't get the Gatling gun, you don't get anything, you don't even get Giselles. You know what I'm saying? Like you get all the like the stuff that just gets romped on, and it was hard to feel good with that. But then if you had the Stormcast side of it, like you felt amazing. I feel like that City of Ash one, if you were the rat side, you're like flying high. You're like, this is awesome. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But if you got stuck with that city side in the deal, like you kind of got shafted. Like, you're like, oh, man. It's like, do you want to play all of City's weakest stuff? Like, they get this Spearhead. It was like.
You just want to be people in a world full of that's way cooler than people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my thoughts. Like when people I see playing like the Imperium and 40K, I'm like, you're just like the humans,
just dudes. Yeah,
you're just dudes, huh? That's your vibe. Huh?
It was funny too, but it was a good way to see like the other armies, and it made me remember how like you can get a little glimpse into these other factions really quickly through Spearhead.
Oh, definitely.
And it was a lot of fun, and it was fun playing the Osiarch Bone Reapers. I played my Khorne, the dogs one, bro. I just thought that was going to be a fun one. Like, Karanak and the Fleshhounds versus the Cities of Sigmar, and you know what I mean. So, can you shoot these dogs before they come over there and bite you? And
that seems like a good matchup.
It was funny, dude. It's like, they have reasonable saves and stuff, and I don't have any rend with the dogs, but it's just volume, bro. It's 4 attacks each. And I'm like, I got all 5 dogs into you, 20 attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just fun. I love playing Khorne. I love having like a bunch of attacks. Like, what a way to like lure you into an army. You're gonna have
for sure.
You're gonna have things that die to a whisper, but they're gonna put out 3 to 4 attacks each. And I'm like, oh, okay.
When you're rolling those 20 days, you're like, let's go.
It does feel good. And then seeing playing that Khorne Spearhead made me like look over at my Khorne that are still sitting over there, and I'm like, soon.
So one day.
Yeah.
One day.
I was like, soon. Yeah. And my Khorne was like, I can't let you get close.
All right, man. I think that's enough catching up. We have our 10 cavalry units lined up, some notable mentions, and some that are going to make people mad. A brand new segment to kick off in our 1-year episode.
Absolutely.
All right, Scarecrow. The stables are open, the charge lanes are clear, and it's time for our very first edition of Ranking Recklessly. Today we're counting down our top 10 cavalry units in Age of Sigmar. We each have 5 picks, and we're going to alternate all the way from number 5 to number 1. We're looking at speed, damage, durability, utility, points, and how well the unit fits into our army, and how much you hate seeing it across the tables.
Sure, yeah. Cavalry can be a very small part of your army as a little, tech piece, or it could be the main, damage unit of your army as a big, strong hammer, or it could be your entire army as a spammed unit, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a fun episode to talk about these things.
I agree, man. Just because, and I will give a warning, just because your favorite unit did not make it on, does not mean that it's bad. It just means that there's only 10 spots on our list, and we had to kind of make some space. So before we get into
you can only make something your favorite when you have experience with it. So me and Robert, we have a lot, and we've played with a lot, but we definitely haven't tried everything. And there's definitely some cavalry that we have never encountered as players. So, if you have a favorite cavalry unit or you have a top 5 you want to share with Rolling Recklessly, get into our Discord, get into our Instagram. We want to hear your feedback on what your top 5 cavalry are.
I'd love that. Yeah. But leave us a comment, check out the Instagram, do all that kind of stuff, and tell us, where we missed on your favorite cavalry units. Before we get into the rankings, let's show some love to the units that were just right on the edge.
Sure.
Yep. So for me, we had a couple units. I do want to have like some notable mentions that we went over. For the first one I really wanted to bring up, I think are really good, and I just couldn't put them in my list, was both of the cavalry units for the Identif Thiefkin, the Eels. I got the Achillean Eastland Guard and the Morsart Guard. They're both cool, super fast. You can eat them across the board. One has like a debuff, the other one has like a buff. I think it's really cool. Very sick models. For me, I just couldn't fit them in the list. What about you, Scarecrow? You got any?
Yeah, I got an honorary mention for the Daughters of Cain. It's a unit that is technically still playable till June 1st of 2027, but after that, it's going to be sunset. It's the Daughters of Cain solo cavalry unit and only male unit, Doomfire Warlocks. This is a wizard one, 5-horse model. It's been a part of the Daughters of Cain since, first edition. And I think it's strange that, such a small range is already like sunsetting something that,
yeah,
your sole cavalry unit. So maybe they have another cavalry unit that's going to hit before then or right then when these things sunset. But yeah, it's sad to see such a versatile cavalry unit get sunset when they had a really cool look to them. And, I thought they were useful on the tabletop. One of the spearheads, came with the unit. So it's like, it's you hate to see a limited range like get even more limited, but yeah, the Doomfire Warlocks for me, this was a unit that had a shooting ability, a melee ability, and it had spell casting.
And it's a spell casting. That's cool when it's not like a hero that's like your wizard.
Absolutely. So I thought that was really cool. 3 health each horse. 15 wounds right there, on a wizard. 1. That's pretty good. So I see
Especially with
why.
their spell lore. You guys they have a great spell lore.
Absolutely. So I see why maybe it's getting sunset. It doesn't fit where they're trying to go with the army, but yeah, it'll be missed. Doomfire Warlocks.
Well, we're gonna have to pour one out for the boys. We will miss you, Doomfire Warlocks.
Yeah, for sure.
I did have two more little notable mentions that, when we were like trying to rank our five, I thought like there's so many cool choices. It was for me, it was really hard.
Sure.
I do also want to give a shout out to the Barrow Knights from the Soulblight Gravelords.
Yeah.
I think they're super sick. They have a really cool ability. Just come back. That's fucking dope. At the end of every turn,
Back.
I'm just gonna bring one back. Like cool. And like just not a big fan of the biggest fan of the skeleton aesthetic. They're really cool. Just really dope.
For sure.
And then I also had the Boingrot's Bounders from Gloomspite Gitz. I love these guys. I actually really, really like them. They're fast. They're hilarious. They're squigs. They're exactly like the kind of reckless energy that I like. But, just with so many great choices, I had a really hard time squeezing them on the list. Did you have any more notable mentions?
No, the Spider Riders from Gitz.
Yeah. Nobody
still
plays.
exist.
Yeah. It's funny. So, like, when I was talking to Zach yesterday, he's like, no, man, I know you want to play Gitz. If you have, like, any units you want to borrow, let me know. He's like, I have everything. And I was like, nice. Do you have the Spider Riders? He's like, I don't have the Spider Riders.
he's like, not even I go that far back.
Yeah, he's like, I like it, but not that much.
Yeah, it's funny. In preparation for this list, I was looking through all the armies, and I realized a lot of armies don't have cavalry or have limited cavalry, or their cavalry is getting sunset. Doomfire Warlocks. So it's like it's interesting, and then a lot of armies they'll just like use the same cavalry unit over and over again as different war scrolls. Like the Stormcast Turtles.
It's the same thing. It's just a different guy on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's like it really is like keeping the magnet like industry going. It's keeping Magnet Baron like well employed and serviced.
Oh,
so
definitely.
It's funny that it was that way. But yeah, a lot of armies, especially the armies that I love, like Skaven, they don't have any cavalry, right? I mean, they're already rats. So
yeah, after like you said, man, I looked through, and I mean, we'll talk about this a little more later because I have a little segment. I got a question for you afterwards.
Sure.
It's crazy how many of them don't have a cavalry unit. Especially like with how key some armies like they need their cavalry. They rely solely on their cav. You know what I mean? That's the whole army. So it's just crazy that how many didn't have it.
Absolutely, and as speaking of honorable mentions, it didn't make my list, but the cavalry from Cities of Sigmar currently, every time I see a competitive list, every time I see them getting played at Gamers Guild, I see those cavalry, man. They look like a real big problem.
They are. I will tell you from personal experience, they really are. So, all respects have been paid. Tough cuts have been made. So we're going to start over here at number 5. And from here on out, we're going to alternate every single pick. I think I'm going to start us off on this one. For my number 5 pick, I'm going to start us off with the Spy Rider Lancers from Sylvaneth.
Okay.
These guys, man, of course I was going to... Some Sylvaneth had to make it into this list. That's how that's how this podcast goes. I'm sorry, guys.
Sure.
But these guys, they're just useful, I haven't gotten a chance to really play them to the point where I want to play them, but I've gotten some few key times to use them, and it's one of those. They're very sick. They're like equivalent to like Kurnoth, but on horses or bugs. They're super useful. They're fast. So they get you wherever you need to go. They're one of the few units in Sylvaneth that got to keep the cool Strike and Fade from 3rd edition, where like they came in, smack you, and they get to teleport away at the end of the turn. So I really like them. They've got, I think it's 3 attacks apiece, 4 attacks apiece on the companions. We have the spell where Sylvaneth can cast a spell to give +1 to wound, including 2 companion weapons. And I think that's really where it makes this piece really shine, especially with our spell lore.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know I've seen you use them here and there. They never seem to be like the core part of your army, but I know I've seen a lot of lists where like this is my hammer, this is my big reinforced unit that you need to be scared of.
Yeah, definitely. You can make them into that weapon for sure.
They're in the spearhead, right?
Yep, the new spearhead. They have one of each. One of each of the bugs, because they're two different bug riders. It's the same thing, just an alternate build, We
spoke earlier in the episode about how Spearhead has gotten a lot of people in, so I feel like, if you bought a Spearhead and you're like, now I want to play 1,000 points, well, the first thing I'm going to do is reinforce these Spice Rider Lancers, right?
Yep, that's actually a very 100% viable build.
Yeah, so absolutely, though. I agree, bro. I like them. They're riding bugs, bro. Like, who else is doing that?
Yeah, well, that's like the nice thing is, like, man, they get the strike and fade. They have 2 control, you know what I mean? As far as like board control, covering everything, getting space, like where they're like moving to the spaces that they need to be at. Very, very sick. And a lot of units, like, especially with cavalry, I think in my opinion, that's like the baseline. That's what you should, like, for a good cavalry, you need to be doing that.
We gave our predictions before your book dropped that strike and fade was going to be nerfed. We were correct. And, but we knew that certain units would keep it, right? And
yep. Yes, exactly.
Them keeping it wasn't a surprise. I was like, okay, cool. Somebody's got to have it. And why not the cavalry, right? It makes sense that they would strike and fade. They're moving fast. They're cavalry. So, I love it. I love that that's your number. I'm surprised that's number 5, but you're a Sylvaneth guy, so I'm excited to see what your other ones are. I'm going to give you my...
Let's hear your number 5.
I'm going to give you my number 5. And I don't know what they do outside of Spearhead, right? But I'm going to give you it on just pure aesthetic alone because my son picked this this as his Spearhead. But the Nighthaunt have a unit called Dreadblade Harrows. Do you know what I'm talking about? They look like wraiths, like Grim Reapers that are riding horses that are ghosts.
Okay. I have seen these. When you said Nighthaunt Cavalry, I was not sure what you were talking about. Very cool. Okay, nice way to bring it on. Let's go. Let's talk.
So it's in the Cursed Shackle Horde Spearhead, right?
Okay.
And they're units of 2, right? So it's like, okay, this is going to be a pretty unique, like, and strong unit. They have crit auto wound on both their profiles. It's 4s and 3s and 5s and 3s. It's Ren 1 and damage 2, and it can teleport once per battle. It just
teleport. I love teleport,
and it's 6 inches away from the enemy, right? So like this thing just shows up and it's a problem. But yeah, they're really cool cavalry unit. Dreadblade Harrows, super cool. After my son picked them up, I was just like, these are a cool unit. I really like them. So I'm excited to see how he gets them painted up. But Dreadblade Harrows makes my number 5 on aesthetic alone and whatever minor gameplay I've seen in Spearhead. So if you listen to the show and have a Dreadblade Harrows build, I want to hear it. I want to see it. It's probably amazing. What a cool unit.
No, man, I'm not gonna lie. It looks super awesome. About taking a look at it now, bro. It is 2 models, which is kind of weird, for a cavalry, because usually it's like 3 to 5. But still, really cool, especially because I think Nighthaunt needs like a little bit of like a unit that could smack a little bit, right? They're not known for like their power, so it's cool to give them something. It's like 2 units, hits pretty hard, 4 attacks apiece, crit auto wound, 4s and 3s, 1 Ren, 2 damage on the Dreadblade. That's pretty fucking dope. And then they also get they have the horses, The horses also have crit auto wound, which is sick, 5s and 3s, no Ren, 1 damage, 3 attacks. But that's in my opinion pretty good, especially for, a horse, especially a ghost horse. And then if it control score, which, pretty fire. Like, that's
it's
6, 8 control basically, right? 7 control. That's huge. And then it also has in the movement phase, it can teleport outside of 9 of all enemy units. I'm a big fan of teleports. I love teleporting. That is huge. So man, good, very solid. I like your number 5. For me, I'm gonna go into my number 4, and I have my current project on the table right now. My Aggradon Lancers from Seraphon, man. I might be a little biased because I've been painting them and working on them and playing in them and building my list around these guys. So I do They're going to be a favorite of mine, but dude, it's like big dinosaur cavalry. It's like dinosaurs riding dinosaurs. You know, like how
For sure.
fucking cool. On top of that, man, they're fast. You give them the hystericism, they get the +2 to move.
Oh, yeah.
You can give them the buff where it's like onto the beast, where it's like they get another +2 to move. So now they're moving 14. You know, they've got a good sized base, so they can cover like quite a bit, and then they smack super hard. You know what I mean? That's the Seraphon thing is like, hey, I'm gonna hit you, and then every turn they hit somebody, they get even stronger, which is dope. And then the way I run them, you know, like they get to keep that buff no matter what when they're by the big monster. So you know, I definitely had to go with those guys. I think they're one of like the better of the like companion hits. That was one thing I took into account, like when we were looking at like cavalry, is like, you know, the traditional horse baseline is what, like 2 attacks, 5s and 4s, no ren, 1 damage. You know, so that was something to me that I kind of wanted to look at, and it's like with the Seraphon, that is kind of like their thing. This is the big dinosaur. This is where the damage actually comes from. It's not the guy that's like poking you with the stick. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You know, it's 5 units per or 3 units per model, 3 attacks, 4s and 3s, 2 ren, 2 damage, and that's the companion weapon. Which in Seraphon they get ways to buff companion stuff. And then for the spear and the club, 3 attacks, 3s and 3s, 1 ren, 1 damage, charge +1 damage, anti-monster +1 ren. And right now in Scourge of Gyran, you know, that +1 to monsters, pretty nice. And then the doing 2 damage on the charge, solid in my build. And then for their ability, they get to do every time they swing. Next turn they'll get +1 to attacks.
Wow.
To I believe it's so it's like the strong weapon gets more. So potentially by turn 3, if you fought every turn, they each have 6 attacks. Like they're eating whatever they run into.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're eating whatever they run into.
In late game, when you have less units and maybe 1 or 2 things are still alive, if that's the one thing that's alive with all this buff, that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That, and then you're keeping
the hardest thing to do in Age of Sigmar is maintain power over time.
Yeah, is a big defining moment for a lot of armies. You know what I mean? How about you? What's your number 4, Scarecrow?
You might be shocked to hear it.
I was shocked to hear the fucking Nighthaunt. So let's hear it.
Only because the other things in the list I like more. But I'm going to have to put my dear Stormcast Eternals, Stormstrike Paladors at number 4.
The Paladors. Okay, I am a little surprised to hear it.
Now, I'm sure Ramses is going to want to reach through the podcast and strangle me. He's like, you need 3 reinforced. But hear me out. I haven't played with a full reinforced unit, so maybe just like my exposure is limited. But I just felt like, in comparison to maybe something else that's on this list later on, this was maybe not the cavalry unit to take. First of all, there's so many different variants. You know what I mean? There's the Stormstrike ones with javelins.
There's Lancers. Yeah.
There's Paladors versus Vanguard Paladors. You know what I mean? And particularly for number 4 of this list, it's the Scourge of Akshi Stormstrike Paladors.
Okay.
All right, and this is why. Because this is a unit that has 3 models, right? So reinforced at 6. They're on a 3-up save, 5 health apiece. Okay. So this is a lot of staying power, right? Yes. They have 3 attacks each, 4s and 3s, ren 1, damage 1. They have, with their rider, 3 attacks each, 3s and 3s, ren 1, damage 1, anti-infantry +1, charge, damage +1. So now we're looking at ren 2, damage 2. Yes, 3 of them.
Okay.
But what I like is they have this ability, and it's once per turn, anti-combat phase. If this unit charges turn, pick an enemy unit in combat with both of the following units to be the target. This unit and a friendly unit that did not charge. So think of this as like a rescue charge, rescue cavalry, right?
Yeah, you're going in to back somebody up.
So many times in Stormcast, your wall, your screen, whatever you were putting out there to kind of take the damage is down to 1 or 2 Stormcast left, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And there was really nothing for them to do except maybe tie a unit down and stand there and wait to be pulverized, right? But now there's a means to rescue them with these Palladors. And if you do this, if you meet these conditions, if you're in combat with a unit that was in combat with one of your units that didn't charge this turn, and you charge this turn, you can add another point of damage to their damage, giving them damage 3. So now we're talking 3 attacks, 3s into 3s. It would be rend 2 because of anti-infantry +1 rend. And charge damage +1 rend, plus the stack of +1 damage from the ability is damage 3. So 3s into 3s, rend 2, damage 3. You can make it 2s by all-out attacking into 3s. You know this very well. It's going to be a huge damaging unit. And, I always think of like what Cavalry is doing in gameplay anyway, and it is doing this. You want the Cavalry charging the thing that the screen got busy with. So I like this a lot for them, and it's going in my number 4 because I bought some Storm Strike Palladors. I need one more box so that I can live the dream of a reinforced unit. But I think that soon here in the very near future, I might be having a few more birds on the tabletop. So shouts out to you, Ramses. I already have Iridan. Iridan needs its flock.
Yeah, bird is the word, they might say.
Yeah, so I'm liking Scourge of Ak, Storm Strike Palladors, bro.
I love it. That's very, very solid. I'm surprised you put the Stormcasters low, but you did the same thing I did. You know what I mean? Where like we kind of like looked at our armies, and it's like, I don't want to rate it too high, but
sure,
it's not necessarily the best cavalry. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. No, absolutely. And it's hard putting your favorite army like a little bit lower on a list.
Yeah, agreed. 1,000% agree.
Well, you got to be fair where your opinion is. So,
I love it. All right, man. So I'm going to get into my number 3 then. For me, coming in at number 3 is going to be something you actually mentioned a little bit earlier. Free Guild Cavaliers from Cities of Sigmar.
Oh yeah,
these units, man. I've never played them I've never played them myself. I've only played against them, and every single time they've been a problem.
Sure.
A unit of 5, they're only 140 points.
Sure.
They have a 3-up save, 3 health apiece, and can move 10.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if you've played against cities yet. Their whole like gig is like they buff other stuff,
Yeah.
And then they fight like turn after turn after turn, and it's like when you have 5 of them, you reinforce them. Now you have a unit of 10 for 280 points. Like, as far as just value is concerned, like 280 points for 10 3 health models on a 3-up save that can move 10 inches is just, it's really hard to overlook. I didn't think they were the greatest, but after playing against them, man, they slap hard. It's like the biggest hammer that Cities has. We were talking a little bit earlier when you're like, you're just playing the humans. Like, no, these guys are not just the humans. These guys will fuck you up. So we're talking about 5 units of model, or five models a unit, 140 points, 3 attacks apiece. So, we're talking, 15, 16 attacks. 3s to hit, 4s to wound, 1 rend, 1 damage. If they charge, they get +1 to damage. They have different ways to like manipulate the charging keyword, so they can have points not charge and still get that keyword. The horses, 2 attacks, 5s and 3s, typical horses, no rend, 1 damage. But they have this. This is huge. And this is almost ruined, it's almost ruined my tournament game. Was in any charge phase, if this unit is in combat and has not charged this turn, pick an enemy unit that is in combat with and up to 1 friendly Free Guild Cavalry's Marshal within this unit combat's range to be the targets. If this unit is under orders, which they get to pick at the beginning of the turn,
right.
And just so you know, it's the way anybody who plays cities, this is under orders, and if not, it's on a 3-up. This unit and friendly target can use the charge ability even if it is not your charge phase, and even if those units are in combat. Both friendly units must end the move within combat of the enemy target. So this thing just gets a charge in your charge phase. So it just I don't know.
It's rescue cavalry.
Yep, you can. It's exactly. He can charge out of combat, which is fucking insane.
That is insane.
It's just broken. And then on top of that, with like such like a really high, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, what was it? It's 3 attacks apiece. So we're talking about 5 units times 3, 16 attacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At 2 damage apiece, 3s and 4s. They have different ways to get +1s. Even the horses aren't great. It's just the cavalry weapon is good enough. And then at 280 points, it already covers like so much of the board, so it's so much good for like board control, you know.
And fitting the theme of the army, you know, it's all about like camaraderie and sticking together and like rallying back against the enemy. It's very thematic. You know, cities had it hard the first, you know, 2 General's Handbook, and now they're having their time to shine and be in the sun.
Agreed. Yeah, you're right.
So, you know, and that's a really good pick, and, you know, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, those Cavaliers they're really good, bro. They're the new Vanguard.
I promise they would be on your list had you had more experience with cities.
Absolutely.
You guys, when we were doing the teams tournament, forced me to play cities almost 3 times in a row.
And when we think about horse masters and lore, humans are right up there, bro.
Yep, exactly. You know what I mean? It's like man's second best friend, essentially.
Yeah, humans always had a connection with horses in any kind of lore, but, you know, especially in Sigmar, bro. Horses are a human-tamed animal.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Scarecrow, let's hear your number 3.
So my number 3 is from Khorne.
Okay,
And
nice.
It's going to be everyone's favorite Mighty Skull Crushes. The guys
I love
on
these guys, actually.
rhinos, right?
Yeah. So sick, bro. So sick.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this unit is it's a unit of 3 guys, right? So another low kind of count unit.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saving on 2 ups, my guy. So this is a anvil unit, if you will, and they're one of the coolest unit in the game. You know, when you're thinking of cavalry, you always think of like, oh, horses, right? Yes. You don't think of, you know, demonic looking rhinos, you know, and these things
are so sick.
Yes, they look like walking behemoths, right? They got chunky armor, jagged plates on the rhino horn, like kind of a derpy, gaping maw. And then on their back, they've got, you know, a twisted looking mortal rider. And the Skull Crushers, bro, they've got a decent, you know, attack. You know, 3 attacks, 3s into 3s, ren 1, damage 1.
Models is it? How many models is it? 3?
It's 3 models. Yeah.
3. Okay, you're right.
They have 5 health each.
Nice.
You know what I mean? They're ren 1, you know, damage 1, but +1 damage off the charge, so 2 damage. And then, you know, their hooves and their from their mounts are way different than horsey stomps, right? Horsey stomps,
exactly. This isn't your typical 5 and 3.
they might pepper you a little bit, but these are 4s and 3s, ren 1, damage D3. So it's like it could be 6 damage, it could be 2 damage. You never know from these horsies. So it's really good. And in any charge phase, if this unit charged, it can pick an enemy unit within an inch of it. On a D3, inflicted amount of mortal damage equal to the target on the roll. So
nice, and it does charge damage, so it helps you achieve that new tactic, right? Like I know you haven't played any Khorne yet this season, but for the
damage in 3 phases, right?
Yes, exactly. Like, man, and then on top of that, like, you're just hoping these things don't kill you, right? Like, whenever I've been like fucked up by like the horse attacks, it's
for
these guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I've played these now a couple times, and they've wrecked me with the horse attacks.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, 6 attacks that could be doing D3, that is a lot of damage potential. And then they have a save on a 2-up. So if you all-out save with them on a Ren 1, it's still a 2-up. On a Ren 2, it's a 3-up. That's a whole lot of staying power, brother. And I know there's ways in Khorne to give units a ward. So you throw a ward on top of that, like, good night. And then, you know, in Khorne, much like in Cities of Sigmar, it's like if you get the right buffs on them at the right time, you meet the right conditions, you have the right blood tithe in order, you're looking at a lot of damage coming in from those Mighty Skull Crushers. So yeah, a unit that I feel like is recognizable both in 40K and Age of Sigmar. If you've played Khorne, if you've seen Khorne, you've seen a Mighty Skull Crusher. You know what I mean? They have a demon unit. where it's a demon riding it instead of a mortal, and those are just called blood crushers, right? And but
They're
it's
just
the
the
same
regular
like
blood crushers, right? It's not the mighty ones, right?
yeah, it's not the mighty skull crushers, but if you've seen Khorne, you've seen these models and you know these models well. So yeah, that and my number 3 is the mighty skull crushers. What a cool unit for Khorne. It came in that spearhead. That was the first spearhead that they had.
2-up save, bro. 2-up save.
2-up save. Like
not let people don't underestimate that. 2-up save is huge.
2-up save, man. If you're going into a unit that has no rend, like they're basically like not going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I think I told you like Zach was shooting 81 shots at no rend. You know what I mean? It's just like
yeah, at
so
no rend,
he just
and
saves it.
so he just saves on
it?
2-ups. Yeah, like I'm gonna save anything that's a 1 is 1 damage, and it's a 5 damage unit or model unit. And you know what I like about these like elite units? You know, like the Paladors are the same thing. It's only 3 models, but they have a musician and a standard bearer in both of those units, right?
So you're getting
it's
all the buffs. Yeah.
It's like I get the benefits that the big units have because there's only 3 rhinos, but the 3 people riding them knew to bring a fucking a musician and a standard bearer. So super cool unit, super fun unit to play with. I've got mine primed and ready to build. I mean, I got mine built and primed and ready to paint. It's just going to take some time and some courage, but yeah, super good.
Well, they're also great looking models, man. Like, who's riding a rhino? You know what I mean?
Nobody.
So sick. Like, yeah, your horse attacks. Once I seen that, it's like, yeah, these shouldn't be 4s and 5s and 3s. You know what I mean? These should be 4s and 2s. You know what I mean? Like, these guys should be fucking you up. Like, you do not want this dude to run into you.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like a rhino doing D3 damage is very apropos, right? It's
I can 100%
like, did you get hit by the shoulder when the charged in, or did you get hit by the horn? Right?
Yeah, I almost feel like their charge ability should be like if they charge, it's 3. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
3.
Absolutely.
I can 100% see that. But I love that. I love that for your number 3. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my number 2. For me, I got number 2. I don't play a whole lot of death. I do have 1 death army, and it's, in my opinion, it's just the sickest of all the death armies. And here we're talking the Blood Knights from the Soulblight Gravelords. These iconic vampire cavalry, man, they're fast, they hit hard, they're tough. You just have to respect them. You know what I mean? Like when they're on the board, their presence, it needs to be respected. You have to see it, and you have to watch that, and you're like, this is not a unit I can ignore. Just so you know, these are going to be a game breaker unit. I don't know if you've seen before, like they're beautiful models, man. As far as like vampire like warlords on like skeletal horses, like super sick. They have the ability where like they can move over like almost like flying because they have the ghost horses. You know what I mean? So as long as they can finish their move, like they can just run through your wall, which is
crazy.
Sick, dude. So for cavalry, so sick. Like. They're not so worried about screens. Like it's one of those like you're screening for these guys, you have to pay a whole other attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not just like
you got to make sure there's a unit behind them, or else they're gonna just leapfrog right over it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You just throw your Mortec card. You're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna jump over these guys and move past them.
Yeah, get right into those cannons you love. You're like, no.
Exactly. And then so these guys, five models, 220 points, are on the little more expensive side. I think they're 100% worth every point. 3 up save, 3 health, 1 control, 12-inch move. They've got 2 melee profiles, obviously, they've got the horses. And then, so horses, you got your Nightmare Hooves and Teeths. That's their companion weapon. 3 attacks, which is sick because most of people's is 2. Yeah. And there's 5 of them, so it's 15 attacks.
Yeah.
5s to hit, 3s to wound, pretty standard horse stuff, Yeah, 1
absolutely.
damage. Then you have your Templar weapons. This is the vampire badass motherfucker sitting on the top. And the infantry +1 rend.
Ooh.
So it's like what? 80% of models he's gonna get he's getting 2 rend. Charging +1 damage, so it's if he runs into you, he's about to fuck you up.
Wow.
3 attacks, 3s and 3s. Everybody knows all out attack, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Gets you. So now you're 2s into 3s, 2 rend, 2 damage on, and then on top of that, if this unit charged and he passed over you, which was explained to me is all they got to do is like tippy toe your base and come back. You know what I mean? So on a 2-up, they're dealing D3. Like just no, like you know what I mean? Just like that's a nuisance right there.
Absolutely.
On top of that, just can move through like your units, so it's like it just kind of shuts off screens. These guys, I don't know if you've ever played against Soulblight, like in that sense, like these dudes are about to fuck you up.
No, I've definitely played against Soulblight. You know, shouts out to Ben Flood. He played
Ben Flood, yeah.
And I've played against the reinforced pack of them, against 2 reinforced packs of them, and they're not a unit to take lightly. You know what I'm saying? You definitely want to deal with it sooner rather than later because they're a unit that stacks buffs over time. So if you leave it unchecked for too long, they really grow into a problem. So
well, on top of that, 12-inch movement.
Unit.
You know, 12-inch movement, 3-up save, 6-up ward. Like it's just
tanky in its own right. You know, I like how our number 3 spots were filled by like these tanky units, right?
Yeah. Well, that was my number 2.
Oh, that was your number 2. Yeah,
that was my number 2. Yeah. But
I can't agree with you more, bro. That thing is, you know, it's so good, you know, and I feel like if you bought the Spearhead, you know, we keep going back to this. I feel like Spearhead is, you know, a lot of people's way in. You're gonna get these Blood Knights, like that was the early Spearhead. So
yeah. I bought that. I have the box, the Christmas box that came with like 10 of the Blood Knights.
Oh my god,
yeah, and it's like you can buff these guys and make them better. Like you know what I mean? Like I once I'm going through like you know my dead era, you know my dead season. You guys are gonna have a fucking problem on your hands.
How nice of them to give you the obvious box. Like here's reinforced Blood Knights and Vordry. Like
hey, do you want the sickest models in the line? Give me $220. We'll call it even.
Absolutely. It's like I saw one where it had Arcan and like 4 Argos Morgai or Morgas Argai. I was just like, man, they know what they're doing when they sell these boxes. Yeah, absolutely. Blood Knights, not only are they one of the coolest looking models in the range, but they're one of the strongest units in the range too. So
when you're running death, right? You know what I mean? Like you got a couple choices with death. You know, you've got zombies, you got skeletons, you got vampires, and you got werewolves. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the 4 death tropes.
For sure. Ghosts.
Vampires are fucking sick, dude. And it's just like that's why there's so many vampire like pop culture movies. That's why there's so many vampire like everything. And for us, like very hype. You know what I mean? Growing up in the Twilight era, you know.
When you're explaining Age of Sigmar
to be done
to the uninitiated, you're like, oh, there's different factions, right? And you know, in this faction there's this and this faction that. But when you get to death, you're always like, there's every flavor of death. There's your zombies, there's your skeletons, there's your ghosts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
There's your vampires, you know. They've got every flavor of death that you can think of. There's your ghouls, you know what I mean? So I love that about Age of Sigmar.
And like everything.
And that's a perfect transition into my number 2 unit, also a death unit. It's for the OC Arcbone Reapers, the Cavalos Death Riders. I know you saw this coming.
Yeah. This is what we've been playing this whole time, right?
This is what we've been playing. This is a unit that I enjoy. I understand that before this new battle tome that they had crit 2 hits built into their war scroll, and they lost that.
Yeah, I can see why like what people were a little like they were hurt, man. I remember when this book came out, like my OBR players were hurt, right? Like like nationwide. I remember just reading in like the Reddits, and I remember reading on like the everything, and then you can see on the podcasts, you could see it in like everywhere. The death players were hurting.
Absolutely, it's because they lost all of their hitting power, and
they changed their playstyle entirely.
They gave it tech mobility through this Death Rider Wedge, and this is a mechanic I'm still figuring out, and that Hawkins allowed me to, try to learn while we were playing. But it's if this unit charges, when it activates for combat, instead of doing its combat profile, it can instead inflict D3 mortal damage and then move 10 inches away. and it can move through the combat ranges of enemy units, but it can't end that movement in combat. So it's a way to just do D3 and move away. And you're like, well, Jesse, D3 is not that much. And I'm like, yes, I agree. However, if they're with a Liege Cavalos, he will inflict a D3 as well, and they'll move 12 inches instead. And you're like, okay, that sounds pretty good too. But also, if you do that, you can, with an enhancement given to your Liege Cavalos called Imperatus Will, every time a Cavalos unit uses a fight ability, you can, on a 2-up, inflict that in D3. So you can add a bad D3 mortal to this pool of D3 mortals. And so, my point is this. Sometimes a unit's utility isn't obvious, right? You see a bunch of bone guys on horses with, like, sharp weapons. You're thinking, this guy's a hammer unit. And with the Scourge of Akshi, they added, being able to put an enhancement on a regular unit, not just a hero. And giving a unit its crit 2 hits back is one of the options for OVR. So this horse has a way to get its, its hammer ability back. But I really would caution players from that. With the new Relentless Discipline Point mechanic and the utility of being able to just fade away instead of fighting if you charged, because, you can get that off a counter charge, and you can definitely get that off a charging in your turn, especially with Relentless Discipline Points adding 3 inches of movement. Ways to add charge other than Relentless Discipline. There's just a lot of ways to get these horses in combat off of a charge, all right?
Yeah, but on top of that, it's like, well, how many units does it come with? Like, how many?
There's 5. There's 5 in a unit. They're 3 health apiece, 4-up save.
So 3 health, 4-up save. Okay, so that's not terrible. So it's like
6-up
a decent moon pool. 6-up ward, yeah, yep. Death always has the 6-up ward. I always forget.
Relentless Discipline Point, 5-up ward.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So you can get it to 4s and 5s. That's pretty fucking good on 150 points. So say you reinforce it, it's what, 300 for 10. That's not bad. I like how you've been running it though, like because we've been talking about this for a little while about you running it MSU and like running it reinforced, and I like this new list. The what I saw you playing Hawkins with, man, I wish I got to see the end of that game. You know what I mean? Because I got there a little earlier, so I didn't get to see it. But man, I really do wish it, because I saw like a nasty blob of these fucking skeleton horses just in the block,
absolutely,
like screening everything and like blocking everything. I was like, this motherfucker.
It makes a wicked board presence when you have 20 horses that are split up 5 apiece, and they're just kind of like stringing in different directions. And the only parameter for the Liege Cavalos to fade away with them and make them go 12 is that he has to be in combat range of the Cavalos Death Riders, not in combat range of the unit that you're targeting. So you can have the Liege Cavalos on the tail end of the line as they're just barely in combat, and then you're all going to fade away, do 2 D3 mortals, and then Imperatus Will and do another D3. And I forgot to tell you that the Liege Cavalos has the ability that if he's in combat and he strikes, so he hits, he can immediately pick another Cavalos Death Riders unit, and they can use their ability. So if that Cavalos Death Rider charge, you can hit with your Liege Cavalos, and then fade away with both the horses and the Liege Cavalos, do 2 D3 mortals, and then if you have an Imperatus Will, you can do a bad D3 on top of that. And like you just did that crazy combo off of 1 hero and 1 MSU unit. So I really like Cavalos Death Riders. They have forced me to learn how to be more techie. They have forced me to learn how to play with a horse unit rather than going straight at the enemy in a straight line and hoping to do damage, right?
Yeah.
That, and if I want to play that way, I can go right back to Corn with the
Exactly.
With the Mighty Skull Crushers. They're on a 2-up save, and they get charge damage. So you're going to want to just go straight forward.
I'm not going to lie, man. For us, like this year, by the end of this GHB, if you can continue playing at the rate you're playing, you're going to be a great player. You're going to be very good, because I'm seeing, like, when we first started playing, my big thing was, like, I felt like I played a very techie army, where it's like they can die quickly, but they can deal a lot of damage. Yeah. You played the Vanilla Boys, but you are great at piloting the Vanilla Boys, and I can see now that you're coming into this new era where, like, you're not playing 3-up saves anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you're not playing 5-up forts anymore. You're not doing this. You're doing this, like, way harder thing. And it's just, like, I can see you're struggling a little bit, but it's just, like, every little step I see, it's like you're getting better and better and better. And it's like, I'm telling you, man, by the end of this season, you're going to be a real fucking problem. So I'm very...
I hope so.
And I think by when I'm seeing just like you running like that list I seen you running yesterday made me, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, like just super gay. Like in my heart, I was like, I'm very happy to see this because like you're running a very techie list. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like, yeah, you gotta catch me to hit me. You know what I mean? If you hit me, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm a big fan of this. I like it. But if you
in my game,
when I run in to fight you, I'm just gonna run away before you can hit me back. It's fucking hilarious to me, and that's your strategy. I would love to run this list, and I'm having a blast just from a distance watching you run it, and then bombing motherfuckers from a distance with the cannon, and then giving people strike last. This is becoming one of my favorite things to watch. So I'm very proud of you, bro. Very, very, very proud.
The idea for those of you who are listening who are OBR players and want to know like what am I supposed to do with this cannon and these horses? You shoot somebody with the cannon, you give them strike last. If they get strike last, put as many MSU horses as you can on the charge.
All the horses are getting away. All of them are getting away.
They're all going to get to fade away and do those D3. And maybe on the last unit that's left, if they have a little bit more than 2 or 3 health left, you're like, okay, these last ones will fight them.
Yeah, maybe. I can lose these guys, and then say you're like some guy that's running like a Nagash. You're like, and then they're coming back. Welcome back, boys.
If you run Knight Xantos, which is the Liege Cavalos, named hero version, you can get your +1 damage on the charge back for your Liege Cavalos. So I know they got Rider's Remorse.
Yeah, you can tell by the way that they built this new season. I think people are real upset with us. Maybe let's for seasonally bring this back.
I saw recently a graph of like the win percentages for each army, and OBR was in like dead last, and I was like, oh, that hurts to see. And I was just like,
painful.
I was like, 42% it's not a great number, but it's I think it's just people dunked on the book. It's not obvious how to win with them, and that's what's making me. This is forcing me to be a stronger player. Playing with an army where it's not clear, the path to victory isn't so clear. I really like it. I saw when we were playing on Friday, Garen. Shouts out to you, Garen.
Shouts out, Garen.
He wasn't playing Age of Sigmar, but he was like, oh, I play OBR too. I was like, oh, you play the Boner Boys? He's like, yeah, bro, that's all I play is like death. He's like, I play all the death armies. I was just like, oh,
he's the death guy.
He's the death guy. So like, I was like, oh, that's exciting. So it was exciting to be like, hear other people. He's like, I haven't played the new GHB. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe I can be one of your first games. I'm an easy W.
Yeah. maybe I can get that W on Garen. Yeah.
I was like, strike the beast while it's wounded. But yeah, Cavalos Death Riders, bro. I feel like if you're running OBR, you're going to use them. You're going to use them as a screen. If you're using them MSU, you're going to use them as a hammer. If you
they do everything, which is sick. They do everything.
If you run them reinforced,
15 wounds just on an MSU.
15 wounds on potentially a 4-up, 5-up.
Yeah. Don't let that confuse people. Like that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And if they charge into you, like you always have to wonder, like, oh, is he gonna fight or just fade away and then fuck my positioning up?
Yeah. It's just hard to plan for them. I like when people can just charge and then leave before they fight. That is a game breaker in this fucking game. So it's just one of those 6. So I loved seeing you do it. All right, man. So that was our number 2s.
Yep. Let's go. What do you have at number 1?
Let's play rock, paper, scissors to who reveals their last number 1. Ready?
All right, ready?
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, go. Ready?
Okay.
1. Wait.
Wait, just off camera. 1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Oh, we picked the same thing.
Yep, same thing. 1,
2, 3.
Go. Got him. Got him.
All right. So what's your number 1?
You're going first.
I'm going.
You're going first. Let's hear your number 1.
So making it back on the list a second time. Stormcast Eternals.
Let's
for
go.
For my favorite cavalry unit, it's the Draconith Guard. Now, I will never ever forget you saying the Dracothian Guard look derpy.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I did. That's it. It is like the derpiest of dragons.
Derpy.
It is the derpiest of dragons.
And I don't know what was up with the kit, but a lot of stores just had surpluses of them. So, like, I would see them on sale everywhere. So I just couldn't help but grab a kit here, grab a kit there. And a full unit is only 2 models, right?
Yep.
So reinforces 4 models. So I got my 4 Dracothian Guards, and I built them up as Tempesters. But the great thing about Dracothian Guards and why they make it to number 1 on my list is their utility. There's 4 different war scrolls you can run. There's the Dracothian Tempesters, which is your shooting unit that can turn off commands. Mm-hmm. You got your Dracothian Guard Fulminators, which is your damage unit off the charge. You've got your Dracothian Guard Desolators, which are your hammer unit with a little bit of light utility. And then you got your Dracothian Guard Concussors. These guys are just raw damage, and they can do the most damage with a light shot. So without taking all of the listeners' day up, I'm going to tell you that if you buy 2 boxes of this model, you have access to 4 War Scrolls, Reinforced or MSU, that are going to bring so much value to your army. Now, the Lightning Echelon battle trait in Stormcast Eternals allows a unit that's in the Extremis chamber to have strike first on a 3-up off the charge. Not a lot of units have the Extremis keyword. There's no foot infantry with Extremis keyword. Extremis keyword is only dragons and dragonkin. So Dracothian Guard are a great way to expand your army and its use of that battle trait when you're stuck using, mostly dragons because of your battle trait.
Okay.
It's a great tech piece, bro.
I like what you're saying. I think I love how it's like you buy these 2 models, and it's like you got 4 separate tools, right? Absolutely. And that's like the Stormcast way is like, hey, Stormcaster toolbox. We do everything. We don't do it great, but we do everything good.
If you're one of
these
those
guys are great.
If you're one of those people who are obsessed with magnetizing the different weapon options onto your models, a Dracothian Guard, a Dracothian Guard unit is going to keep you busy. It's 2 models, it's 1 box, but that's going to be weeks and weeks of work for you to get everything, magnetized and working well. But I remember after getting them painted up nicely, I had them painted that nice teal color. And then I watched them with that ice blue. And you were just like, damn, these look really cool. And I was just like, I told you. I was like, sometimes when things are gray, they look derpy. Sometimes the box art version of them looks derpy. But you put your own spin on it. You put your own color palette on it. Those Dracothian Guard, I will admit, can go from like derpy, like retarded wingless dragon to epic mount. And those Dracothian mounts, they do lots of damage. They do. Sometimes they'll have red 1 or 2, damage D3, damage 2, damage 3 sometimes. They're very, very strong.
It's like the corn one. It's like D3 damage for each one. And it's like, dude, solid, man. Like, for the horses, that was one thing I tried to consider. I was like, well, how effective are the horses? It's like, in the Dracothian is always D3. 3s and 3s, it's the best companion weapon you can get. 3s and 3s, there are 4s and 2s, 2 damage. Like, dude, it's so good.
Look at this cavalry list so far, bro. Like,
dude, they shoot and they have a range attack 10 inches. and they have the claws and fangs. The claws and fangs is 2 damage, and the shooting attack is 3 damage or D3 damage. That's great number 1, man. Great number 1.
Absolutely. I love Dracothian Guard. I feel like they kind of get overshadowed by the other dragon units. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, because there's the really cool ones. It's like the
Stormdrake Guard.
Yeah, there's
the Stormdrake Guard.
You got Karazai. You got Krondys. You get the Stormdrake, right? Like there's a lot of great dragon units.
You get the Stormdrake. It's hard when you are the smallest, most insignificant unit in a line, right? When people are like, I want something from an Extremis Chamber, nobody's like, I want reinforced Dracothian Guard. But I would urge you, if you're listening to me, if you're a Storm class player, if you have a Dracothian Guard unit on the shelf, if you've been seeing one at your LGS and you're like, should I buy this? Yes, 100%. Go buy that.
Yeah,
I used it in the first ever GT I ever played in, right? And they were a unit that got a lot of respect on the table, both for my paint scheme on them and both for what they were doing on the battlefield. And
100%.
I think they earned not only Robert's respect. Old Grizzly changed his mind about Dracothian Guard.
They did,
but they will earn your respect, and they are my number 1. My favorite army and one of my favorite units to build. The building on normally building horses can be a pain in the ass sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the mount and the rider, and sometimes shit doesn't exactly line up right. But I don't know if it's just the chunkiness of the Dracothian Guard. It's like the rhinos from Korn. These chunkier mounts, they're much easier to assemble. They're a little less tedious to get the legs and straps and saddles and things in the right spot. And again, they're dragons. Dragons are hard to not make cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
you're like fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like if just existing a little bit as a dragon makes you cool, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I love the unit. It earned its place as my number 1. I know that with the Scourge of Akshi, they got a points drop when they got a little bit of a balance to where they're more feasible on the battlefield. So I'm hoping to see them out there more. If our listeners have a good Dracothian Guard list, let me know. But yeah, I still think we're going to see a lot of those Fulminators and Concussor lists where they just have like the 4 of them and they're like, all right, these guys might get strike first when they charge you. That's a big scary.
Yeah. On top of that, man, 3-up save. Like they are a great unit. I'll be honest. It took I think by that 3rd game we played with them, I was like, okay, like I gotta respect these guys. I know. It's like these derpy looking dragons because they were gray, and then you painted them. I was like, oh, yeah, they look nice. And then they were coming in and dropping in and fucking me up with the shot, and I was like, all right, okay. So now you're the plan. There's like a screen that needs to be in place now when you're fucking with these dudes. So and it's super solid, man. I love your number 1. I do.
Turning off commands is a big ability.
Huge. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really fucks with somebody's mental when they're like, oh, I can't use any commands. Oh shit! I was.
Do you know how many people go in with in their mind that this CP is for all out attack for this guy because I use it every turn? You know what I mean? I'm
people.
Yes. So and it's just like exactly.
I spend my CP at like the beginning of the turn in my mind. I'm like, oh, save this one for this one. I always forget the power through one. I'll get to the end of my turn and I'll be like, damn it! I forgot the power through. I forgot to save one.
I should have saved it. Yeah,
I didn't need to also save that unit. Why the fuck did I do that?
I love it. Quick question.
Who's your number 1, Grizzly?
Before we get into my number 1, what's your favorite flavor of Dracothian Guard?
My favorite.
Competitors, Concussors, Desolators. What are we talking?
So I like Desolators, and I'm going to tell you why. You get the best of both worlds, right? You get the nice shot. You get the really strong damage. They're anti-infantry +1 rend. And they have the ability to add 1 damage to their Thunder Axis if it targets a unit with 10 models or more. We know that in 4th edition, everyone's running reinforced units that are usually 10 units or more, right? So I like being able to have a unit that's melee weapons on their thunder axes. They're rend 2, damage 3, 3s into 3s.
Ooh. Yeah, D3, right, with the companion weapons.
It could be. That's 12. That's 12 strikes into you at rend 2, damage 3. Like that's going to be crazy if you're infantry. So I really like the Desolators. But everyone is going to be using Fulminators for their impressive melee. They get the charge plus 1 damage, so they're the same thing, but just off the charge.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's only off the charge. I like that.
But it's only off the charge, yeah.
Yeah.
So
especially everyone who's running them are running Excelsior or Excelsius or whatever, right?
Yeah, they're running the Extremis Chamber, where it's on a 3-up they can get Strike First, and Strike First and Strike Last are just such game-breaking mechanics.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just my favorite flavor of them is the Desolators, but you could go any one of the 4. You're gonna have a fun time with your Dracothian Guard unit.
Nice, I love it, man. All right, now that we've talked to your number 1, we've gone through all of them. I'm gonna break down my number 1, and to be honest, this should really be no surprise to anybody who's kind of listened to the podcast. We're going to go Vanguard Slaves to Darkness.
I saw this coming.
Yeah, it was coming from a mile away. You know what I mean? It's 3 units, 300 points. They're definitely on the more expensive end of their cavalry.
Sure.
3-up save, 5 health apiece, 2 control, 10-inch move, 2 melee profiles. Got 3 apiece for the fighter, 3 apiece for the horse. Even the horse is force increase. Right?
That's insane.
The horses have rend.
That's
the horses have rend. Yeah, okay. Not only that, you have your Demon Forged weapon, so this is going to be the rider on top. 3 attacks, 1 more for the champion, 3s and 3s, 2 rend, 2 damage, plus 1 damage on the charge, crit mortals.
Oh my
nasty.
Crit mortaling for 3 damage is just nasty work.
Then for an ability, once per battle, any combat phase, this unit can use 2 fight abilities in that phase. After it's used, strike last. After the first fight is used, strike last. It's just, oh man, not only is this guy going to smash the shit out of you one time, he has the point in the beginning of combat phase to do it again. Not once, but twice. So
yeah, in the War Scroll, I'll mind you, and not off of a roll, it just happens.
Yeah, this isn't a 3-up. You know what I mean? This isn't a 2-up. This isn't anything like that. Like, no. He's gonna smack you hard. I'm pretty sure there's a way where you can run like a champ, like a hero with him that just lets him like chain fight, and it's
If we are talking raw power, is there another cavalry unit that even stands toe to toe with this?
No. I don't think. I think this unit, especially, you reinforce them, and I get it. It's 600 points, right? For 6 models. Each of these models is 75 by 42, so it's like these are huge fucking bases on top of that. So they are a presence on the board.
Whenever you hear the word Vanguard, you always hear reinforced right before it.
Yeah.
I've never heard it just Vanguard. I assumed it was reinforced Vanguard. It's a pairing of words that sends shiver down the spine when you're looking at those lists before the GT and you're like, what the heck? Reinforced Vanguard, reinforced Chosen. Count me out.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like, so let's talk. Let's say we're talking reinforced, so 600 points, looking at 6 models, 3-up save, gross.
Yeah.
Gross. You know what I mean?
You can mark them, right? Because it's chaos. It's, it's, so did you give them the mark? Yeah.
Yep. So
give them a ward.
It's a ward on top of the save, and then 5 health apiece. You know what I mean? So we're looking at 15 a unit, so 30 for a reinforced unit, 10-inch move, 2 control, and they're fighting twice. Like, dude, these guys are gonna slap. On top of how many ways can you buff with Slaves to Darkness? Like, so many ways.
Absolutely.
Off the charge, 3 damage on 3s and 3s with 2 rend. Gross. Gross.
It's like this is a unit that you
Models,
have
gross.
to be constantly aware of when it's on the board existing. You know what I mean?
This is a
Where's it
problem we
moving
need to
to?
solve
Where's it
immediately.
threatening?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to. It's like you're hoping that your opponent who's running Vanguard deploys their Vanguard first, so you can deploy on the opposite side of the fucking board.
Right.
When I'm playing against slaves, I'm literally waiting because there are only 2 drops ever. You know what I mean? It's like, all of their units are 600 points, but they're only 1 or 2 drops. It's like, well, you put that down, and then I'll put my key pieces on the opposite side of wherever you put those.
They're just so strong, man. I mean, it's like, and then you're like, okay, and now I'm going to set up my derpy Slanesh ostriches. That's it.
You guys can run and shoot. You're like, oh yeah, my guys have a 3-up save and a 5-up ward. Like, they can hit you hard no matter what. That's just that had to be my go-to number 1. There's too many times where it's like I've played slaves and it's like, oh, we have a problem right away. Like the problem is it needs to be addressed immediately.
They have a reputation, and that reputation is well earned and maintained. You know what I mean? If you've played Erica from House of Hobbies, then you've played Slaves of Darkness Vanguard list. She came right across the board and slammed half my army, including Bastion Carthalos. It is not something to be trifled with. Yes, fitting that it's number 1, fitting that it's the last unit we talk about, because it is a boogeyman unit. It's sad because the Chaos Knights in the Slaves of Darkness are just as good. You know what I mean? And I know
they got
that
the new Scourge of Akshi, like War Scroll too, so they got a little bit of love. You know what I mean? They're great. I think you're right.
And I know that the Dark Oath have that techie horse unit. I forget what it's called.
On top of sick models. They're sick models, and I don't know if you've seen like the new Old World. Like they're essentially Dark Oath units, but they're Old World, and they're fucking sick. Very sick.
Yeah, but you look at Vanguard standing next to those things, and they're regal. Full armor plates, pimped out armor, spikes and axes, and then even the horse is all pimped out and dripped out with the Dark God's finest armor pieces. It's just such a sinister model, and whether you've got it painted black the GW way or whether you've got them pink or purple or orange, they're just a unit that as soon as you see them, this is.
Well, you just look at it like, look at how our
trouble.
boy Zach did it. You know what I mean? Team Reckless Zach, shout out Zach. He did the sick black and purple, and I'm not gonna lie, bro, for him to jump straight into that, I was like, you fucker, you picked the sickest armor.
Yeah. You got the strongest fucking thing. Yeah,
you just picked the sickest armor here right away. Cool, and then you fucking moved, you fucker.
He helped get us prepared for what we would face.
He did. He said, "Get ready for war, boys. I got."
I don't think we've been to a competitive scene yet where they didn't at least have one.
I don't think we've played a tournament where neither of us have gone against the non-slaves, right?
Yeah.
Last tournament I played slaves. The tournament before that, I think you played slaves twice.
I played slaves twice in one tournament, bro. I wanted it in the first slaves list, bro. They're like 3 demon princes.
You know what was funny is in the first tournament, I think Zach played slaves.
Jeez. So it's just it's a super popular army, super cool units. How fitting that that they hold that top spot in your list, above your own armies that you own, because we know, game recognizes game, Granddad.
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what you're saying, man. So I think that's very sick, though, man. I think we made some great choices. I think we had some fun options. I did not expect you to say what you said. There was some factions on the board. I was like, what? You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna say half my notable stuff. I thought was gonna be your list. I was
Absolutely.
really about that. So I'm very excited. Like the ones you picked were totally different.
When it came to choosing my number 1, I thought about that unit that kind of like personally that, I loved building, I loved painting, and I loved playing it. That's the holy.
It fit all the fun, the perfect hobby stuff. You know what I mean?
And when I look at your number 1, it's like, what is that unit that everyone knows, even if you've never played the army, even if you don't know anything about the army?
Exactly.
A reinforced Vanguard are. You know what I'm saying? It's like knowing that water's wet. It's like knowing the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like knowing that boobs are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You just know.
He needs some milk. Not these
Yeah.
guys. These guys got plenty of milk.
Yeah, so I love it, brother.
All right, man. Now that we've ranked the cavalry that already exist, I have one question. What faction needs a cavalry unit the most?
Well, I'm gonna have to say Daughters of Cain since they're sunsetting their only one.
Oh, we talked about it earlier, and you're not wrong. Especially that's sad. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
how are
like,
they gonna?
Are you telling me these sexy hoes don't know how to ride horses?
Yeah, like not one of them. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
If not, then I want snake riders.
Yeah, well, because you guys need like a pinning unit so that you can like give yourself an opportunity to buff up, right? Isn't that
Absolutely,
kind of like the
brother.
strat?
Like that was the only unit that had like decent mobility, other than the winged Kinnerai. So I just think it's weird that you're gonna sunset their only cavalry and not have one to replace it. You know what I mean? Like, especially when Lumineth have like the Hurricane Wind Chargers. I'm like, they got elves on horseback. Why the hell don't Daughters of Cain have it? So I have a feeling
should
that
have like
they're
some
going.
sick horses too. Like they shouldn't be like some basic ass horses. They should be some like cool like blood horses.
They should get something, bro. Like, give it a snake head.
Yes. Dude, what if they ride like snakes? That'd be fucking dope.
That'd be cool. Anaconda riders or something. Like, yeah, something cool. But yeah, I feel like if you're going to sunset my only cavalry unit, if I was a Daughters of Cain person who had 2 or 3 reinforced Doomfire Warlocks, and they're like, well, enjoy playing this for the next year because we're sunsetting it, I'd be like, what the fuck? So, yeah, and I feel like if you're going to take away somebody's soul cavalry, you need to have something in place like that.
Something, bro.
That just hurts. It hurts. I think that hurts worse than never having cavalry in the first place. Like,
yes. Like we're gonna tease you. Yeah. That was that was so okay. So we'll get into mine, but like as we were looking, I was looking through for this list, you know what I mean, to find like what I liked and how we're gonna rank everything, and I seen like some factions just don't have cavalry. Yeah. Like you said, like Skaven. Yeah. And I mean, I guess I can understand.
What are they gonna do? Is they gonna ride a rat riding another rat?
Riding a rat. It's like we already got dinos riding dinos. Like,
yeah, we don't need the rats riding rats.
It is cool as fuck though. It is cool as fuck. So, but they have the doom wheels, so it's reasonable. I understand it. For me, at the end of the day, I had 2 different units I really liked that I thought needed them, and one of them they might have done it for, so we'll see. But the first one I want to say is Fire Slayers. I think they need to combine Fire Slayers. This is already the big rumor with KO and just like make like a legit like a dwarf faction.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Take the Dwarden out of cities, take the KO, and take Fire Slayers and make it like a legit Dwarden faction. They already have Gotrek. Gotrek is pretty fucking dope. You know what I mean? But I think they don't have none of the like dwarves have any cavalry. And I would think like Fire Slayers, like get some like little baby Magmadroths, like 3 units of baby Magmadroths. You know what I mean? Yeah. That would be fucking sick. You know what I mean? They're just like they can run up real quick. Maybe they have like a decent save and they can strike first or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Or they get like a buff like on the charge, something. You know what I mean?
You should give the dwarves bears to ride.
That would be sick. I would. Another one I thought, yeah, that would be
bears
sick.
haven't been used as a mount yet in Age of Sigmar. Yeah. We need to see this happen.
Yeah, I want them to do it to Sylvaneth, so you know what I mean? Give me some reason to buy more trees. But that, and I want Sons of Behemoth to have sick fucking cavalry. Like, what if they were like riding hippos or something dope like that? Would be sick.
Yeah, like a mammoth, like something like that, right?
Yeah, like a man crush on a mammoth. You know what I mean? Or like a hippopotamus or something
20
like that.
inches of movement. It has to have something ridiculous like that.
It's just one. That's the cavalry. That's just one unit, and it's this one dude on this giant mammoth, and he can run up, and it's like, maybe he can do like a stomp that gets like strike blast or something. I don't know. I thought that would be fucking dope.
Yeah. I know that like the Gitz have like the wolves. So I'm like,
yes.
Animals are always used, So So bears would be next up, dude. Like, imagine a panda as a mount.
Oh, that would be fucking sick. That would be sick. What if like goblins riding pandas, like orcs, you know, or like cruel boys? They don't really have like a cab, right?
Yeah,
like cruel boys have a cab. So what if they capture some pandas and make like some corrupted ass like?
I remember we talked about it. We're like, they should have wargs or like jackals or hyenas or something. Because the other side, the Iron Jaws has the pigs, like, so it's like, what, the Crow Boys don't have Beastmasters? Like, I'm pretty sure Crow Boys would have Beastmasters. So yeah, that should definitely have one. Yeah, I look at armies that are 100% cavalry. Like, we've seen the all eel list. We've seen like the Cavalier Marshal with a bunch of Cavaliers.
I knew I had to say something about the eels because, like, it's already been like terrorizing, our meta, and it's well, it's got to be at least on the notable mentions.
It's got to be so hard, like, to go from that to be like, okay, now I'll be some ground infantry. I guess I'll go back to moving 5 inches.
I won't give you -1 to attacks and then +1 to attack. I love it, man. But that's going to be our first ranking recklessly episode in the books. Let us know which cavalry units we disrespected, which ones we got right, and what should be next on the rankings block. All right, Scarecrow. We have ranked the cavalry. We've probably made some people mad. We've had just enough time for some quick, reckless reactions. Cavalry edition.
They're like, here's my reckless reaction. Dracothian Guard at number 1. Scarecrow's high.
The first, we've already established the first one.
Right.
All right, let's go with our first one. You can add 1 cavalry unit from any faction in your current army for free. No points, no allies restriction. What are you taking?
Stormstrike Paladors, man. I need to give them a chance. I need a reinforced unit. Give me some more birds. Give me some more murder chickens.
You're going to put that in with what, your OBR? That would be sick. I'm thinking I would also like the Stormstrike, the Scourge of Auction ones, but I want them with the Sylvaneth.
Right. Absolutely.
They're going to run in and help clean up those dryads. Like, whenever we're into the dryads, like, all right, cool, I need these murder chickens to come in and smash.
Absolutely, bro.
All right, so rules completely aside, what cavalry unit has the sickest models in Age of Sigmar?
Oh, man, that's a really, really good take. But I'm going to have to go with those rhinos from Khorne, bro. Just personally, I really like them.
Oh, man, I'm not going to lie. I think I'm almost there with you. Like, you're
super
right up
cool.
there with a contender for me.
When you think of Khorne cavalry, you see them in your head.
Yep. I really like those. You know who else I also really like? The pigs.
The pigs from Iron Jaws.
Warclaw pins. Yep. I think those are also some of the dopest horses. I mean, Soulblight's right up there with them, with the Blood Knights, but man, I think the pigs and the like what you said.
We were talking about earlier wolves, and now we're talking about pigs. Like, animals are just such great mounts, bro.
They're like definitely, it's like the best for, you know what I mean, like for like your cavalry, especially in like a fantasy game in a fantasy setting, like
because it's so easy to just be like, I'm thinking of horses. Like when you think of cavalry, like horse, guy on a horse. It's Age of Sigmar, guy on a horse is very few and far between. It's always like guy on a dinosaur, guy on a ghost horse,
yeah, basically,
guy on a derpy dragon.
Yeah. It's okay. They'll just make them 4 different times. They'll give them a different flavor. And it'll be sick as fun. All right, man. You've got a 50-50 charge with your cavalry. That might win you the game, but if you fail it, you probably lose. Are you going to full send it?
50-50 odd.
Let's say, like,
we're rolling reckless, bro. Yes, 50%. You might as well have said 100%.
Yeah, we're going, bro. We're going. Let's go.
Yes.
We're going to take the Josiah, you know what I mean? You're like, as long as I don't get 2 1s here, I'm fine.
Nothing sucks worse than when you fail that charge with your cavalry and they're just hanging out there in the wind. And you're like, oh, they're dead.
Yeah.
I was like, their whole survival was hinging on this charge.
Exactly. All right, last one. I'm gonna give you this one, and then I'm gonna answer myself. What faction do you think needs like another cavalry that already has a cavalry? So not the one that we said earlier where they don't have a cavalry. What
Right.
do you got?
Yeah, and again, I'm just thinking just for like diversity's sake, right? Because I feel like a lot of armies that don't have cavalry have one cavalry option, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. And I want to say, it may be selfish of me, but I want Stormcast to have a new cavalry.
What would it be? Just so you know, I have a very selfish answer myself. What would your cavalry be? We've already got derpy dragons. We've already got cool dragons. What's our next cavalry for Stormcast?
Well, obviously they can't have horses, right? Because they're not big enough.
Yeah, you have horse dragons.
A horse cannot sustain a Stormcast, but a bear.
You're too thick. Ah, you.
And you ever see the movie The Golden Compass?
Yes.
And they have the armored bears. Yeah, they're armored gold bears.
I want that. Now I might change my answer. I think I changed my answer. I think I want Stormcast to have polar bears.
Yes.
Until you ruined my answer. I want Sylvaneth, and I want them to have like a cool like Karnathi like cavalry. You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
they have the centaurs.
Yeah.
But goddamn, man, the fucking Stormcast on the polar bear sounds so fucking sick. Now I want that one. No, I think I changed my mind.
Like Lord Celestin on Grizzly Bear. You know what I'm saying?
I want that.
Lord Relictor on a panda bear. Like I want that too. And I'm just thinking like a bear in full like Sigmarite armor. Super sick.
So this whole time, like I've been trying to so I found this like cool like 3D print of like a grizzly bear, and I want to incorporate it into my Alarial.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna make a fucking Stormcast. Like I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a fucking
totally
Stormcast. It fits perfectly. Like, we need a Stormcast with the fucking bear.
We need a Stormcast with a bear, bro. Like, yes, I would love that to happen, bro. It just needs to happen. Bears need to get into Age of Sigmar. It's amazing that they haven't been already.
It's crazy. I mean, we do have a certain grizzly.
Yeah.
But we need a model. We need a model. We need a bear in Sigmar.
Get on it, GW. Put bears into Age of Sigmar.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Rolling Recklessly. And our very first episode of Ranking Recklessly is in the books. We ranked cavalry, and I already know somebody's typing a paragraph about what we left out. As they should. So let us know next time where we got it right, where we got it wrong, and what you want to see us rank next. But before we get out of here, we have to take a second. This is our 1-year anniversary of Rolling Recklessly. 1 year of episodes, games, hobby projects, tournaments, dice disasters, reckless takes, getting to talk to the game with all of you guys. Seriously, thank you guys all so much for every single person that's ever listened to the episode, shared one episode with a friend, left a comment, joined the Discord, and come out for a game and supported us along the way. I really appreciate it. When I started this whole thing and we talked this out, me and Jesse, we talked this for months, like probably a year before this ever came to fruition. So the fact that we finally have hit 1 year and we've like achieved what we've achieved and like made our mark, I appreciate everybody that's been along for the ride. How about you, Scarecrow? What's your thoughts?
Whether you've listened to one episode or all 51, you know what I mean? Whether you just joined us this episode or you've been with us since old Grizzly was soloing it in the beginning. It's been a journey. It's been a lot of work and a lot of commitment. Being a year consistent in any discipline, in any endeavor, shows that you truly are committed to it. So I'm glad we reached this milestone. I'm glad that we've been doing this, and, life is busy as it is, and it's hard, to come up with a few hours of content for our Age of Sigmar listeners, but we really do this for the love of not only the hobby, but the love of our community. And Rolling Recklessly will continue forward, and we'll give you 50 more episodes and beyond. So whether this is your first time or you're here every time, I appreciate you being here. Grizzly appreciates you being here. Thanks for all the listens. Thank you for all the likes. And we can't wait to make more content for you guys to give you more reckless takes, more reckless reactions, and, some of the worst opinions in Age of Sigmar.
Man, it's wild. Like, looking back at how much everything's happened this year, and to be honest, at the end of the day, man, we're just getting started. We've kind of figured out the formula. We've kind of figured out how to do this. And it's, thank you, brother, for being here with me. I can't imagine 1 year, like, doing all this without you, bro. So I appreciate it, man. Like, without Scarecrow, man, there's no Rolling Recklessly, so I love you. I appreciate it, man. But before we get out of here, do you got any shout outs, any hobby stuff, games coming up, any people you want to show some love to?
Absolutely. They've been shouted out many times on the podcast. I'm going to keep shouting them out because they're a great place. Hobby Forge is opening up a new location in the same
shout out Hobby
center.
Forge. Let's fucking go.
So if you're over in the West Valley in Arizona, or if you're visiting Arizona, look them up, Hobby Forge. They've got a great owner, Gray. He's an amazing character. Everyone who works over at the Forge is amazing. They've got an amazing community. Shouts out to them. Shouts out to Gamers Guild. We had the house packed and rocking, 7 tables the other night. It felt good to be back in true form. I'm loving that the game is bringing new people. It's bringing old people back. It's bringing so many people together. It's just amazing how big our crew can be in juxtaposition to other times. So, whenever we can get everyone together on Friday at Gamers Guild, amazing. If you're in Phoenix, North Phoenix, visit Gamers Guild. It's the mecca of
gaming,
Age of Sigmar, of Warhammer, of any kind of gaming. If you play a tabletop game, a card game, a niche board game no one's ever heard of, it's at Gamers Guild. There's a little group playing it right now. There's weird.
Somebody there.
So I want to shout out to my girlfriend Allie. You know what I mean? She has been around since the beginning, and I see her now being the teacher. She's teaching people Spearhead. She's being the judge now, and it's cool.
She's where we were a year ago, dude. It's sick. It's very sick. It's very sick
cool.
to watch.
It's cool from going from oh, now you're the teacher from being the student, and it's really cool. And then to see her sister have the same love of Age of Sigmar, and it's just really cool. And then her friend has started playing too, and it was just amazing. I'm like, man, this can really get anybody into it if they take the time necessary to begin to understand. You can never fully understand Sigmar at the first couple goes. You can only begin to understand it. You know that rolling the dice feels good, right? Yeah. You know that. You know when you defy the odds and you got lucky beyond measure, it feels good. That much you comprehend. So it's it's such a beautiful game, and So I want to shout out to Sarah and Chelsea and everybody who gave Age of Sigmar a chance. You're the reason me and Robert are doing this. We want more people to play Age of Sigmar. We want this thing to be far-reaching. Spearhead is not only is it the best wargaming product as far as introductory into wargaming, and as far as Age of Sigmar goes, I'll say any game format. One box, a Spearhead, one box. When all you have to really worry about is what aesthetic do you want. And now there's over 40 Spearheads. Yep. It's just so good. So shout out Spearhead from Games Workshop. Mm-hmm. You did really good with it. Shout out all the new players who gave it a chance. I love teaching this game now. You taught me this game, and you made me love it. And it's like trickle down economics, Reagan style. One person.
Yeah, exactly. But it actually works. It actually works.
But yeah, so it's that's my shout outs, brother. What about you?
All right, man. But before I get into my shout-outs, I do want to apologize to Chelsea and Sarah for giving you a new addiction.
Yeah.
But after that, as far as shout-outs go, man, like, I do want to thank everybody who's been here, like, listening with us. If you've subbed, if you've liked, if you've commented, if you joined the Discord, if you've come to play games with us, if you come to chill with us, you come to watch our YouTube, you come to do any of that, I appreciate that more than anything. That helps make this podcast grow, and it helps, like, work all of this. I do want to give a big shout-out to my team, like, first and above all. Like, I know I appreciate all the listeners, but, like, thank you, Jesse, bro. I appreciate you. I love you like a brother. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Zach, man. I know he's in Hawaii. I miss him a lot, bro. But like without him, like this is like our team. This was like what gave me the confidence to do what we're doing. So I do appreciate it. I want to shout out everyone in the Age of Sigmar community, especially out here in Arizona. All of our House of Hobbies boys. I know we're not like real House of Hobbies like teammates, but you guys like make us feel that way, and I appreciate it. And I like love hanging out with all of you guys. You guys have taken into this cool community, man, and I love it. You know what I mean? I want to thank everyone who's been on the episodes with us this entire year. You know, obviously our team, Reckless Zach, he was in our very first episode with you and me. Very sick. Shout out to, you know, thank you to Blake, bro. You know, you came in, you've put in time with us. You go and play gas. You go with my boy. But you know, you're a great painter. You're a great friend. Thank you, Mason, who jumped on with us. Thank you, Zach from House of Hobbies, bro. I had a great time playing with you this weekend, and it just showed like why you're at the fucking top of the crop. You know what I mean? So, yeah. He definitely he showed me why, bro. He showed me why it's so good. They're like, it's like lowest win percentage, and he fucking crushed me. So shouts out to you guys. Everybody in our Discord, thank you guys. You know what I mean? Thank you to all the stores who posted like events for us and like that we've gotten to participate in. Thank you to all like the people who put in all the work and effort. Joel, Erica, you know what I mean? You guys like help run the scene out here. You know what I mean? We seemed like you guys had like your own personal business to do, and fucking Smite didn't pop off for Age of Sigmar because you guys weren't there. And you know what? Like, shouts out to you guys, man. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything you do. You know, I think that's gonna be really it. I just want to say, you know, here's to another year of Reckless Dice, better hobby, and more games with all of you guys. If you've enjoyed these episodes, follow Rolling Recklessly wherever you get your podcast. New episodes drop every Monday, unless, you know, Papa Nurgle comes through and decides that you guys ain't doing shit because you're sick. If you're watching this over at YouTube, hit the like, subscribe, drop a comment. What cavalry do you think we disrespected the most? And what do you think we should rank next? Are we looking at infantry? Are we looking at monsters? Are we looking at factions? Are we looking at grand alliances? What do you think we need to rank next?
Ranking recklessly is quickly becoming my new favorite thing, and I can't wait to do it again.
This is going to be such a fun episode. I'm gonna appreciate doing this one every single time.
Yeah, this one is going to be one of those we're going back to the well with ranking recklessly.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely. You know, once again, thank you to everyone who has played Age of Sigmar with us, who has shared a moment with us. You know, I think of all the different names and faces and places, and it's just so near and dear to my heart now. You know what I mean? I think of Brennan over at Athoria Games and that time that he was our teammate. You know, I think of going over there to Hobby Forge and seeing them go from a small shop to a bigger space because they need to accommodate a bigger community. You know,
we need bigger tables. We need you guys.
I think of us on those final days at Outpost Games and just taking whatever clearance items were left and moving on.
They're basically taking care of all my manifestations that I was bugging them for over a year.
I remember when we started going to Gamers Guild and being like, oh my God, there's a freaking warehouse where we can play Sigmar now. Insane. It's been such a journey. I'm glad that this podcast can chronicle it. You know what I mean? This is like a history book in audio, you know, file format. And it's nice that, you know, we can look back at this, you know, when we're old and gray, when we're now going 3 and 2 instead of 1 and 4. You know what I mean? When we become the problem every Friday,
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be nice to look back at this and have a chronicling of it, bro. And, you know, I want our listeners to never fear. You know, maybe Papa Nurgle comes and visits old Grizzly and takes us out for a week. But we'll always be back. This thing isn't stopping. This thing isn't losing momentum. As we know, this popularity of Age of Sigmar only grows and burgeons. We're here. We're a part of that. I feel we can be responsible for that. You know, there's not many podcasts for Age of Sigmar for us down here in the Southwest. But me and Grizzly will keep you informed. We will keep you notified. And if you're out of our region and you want to share like your experience of what it's like, if you want to collaborate with Rolling Recklessly, reach out to me and Grizzly. You know, get at us in our Discord. It's Rolling Recklessly. Get to us on our Instagram at rolling_recklessly_podcast. We want to collaborate with you. We want to have you on the podcast. We want to hear your opinions. Can't wait to have more guests, bro. Can't wait to interview some more community members. You know, I'm hoping that maybe Rolling Reckless can host an RT or a GT even. You know,
that's like the dream, right?
I was talked to today after service of somebody saying, "Hey, I brought that up to the elders, and they liked it. They liked the idea." And I was like, "Let's go!" And I was like, "There is no home for competitive Age of Sigmar for the coming next 5 to 6 months. I think there's a vacuum that Rolling Recklessly could fill.
Yeah, we can fill.
I'm super excited. This podcast makes me feel that within the hobby, sky's the limit. You and I can do whatever we want. We can be whoever we want, and we can achieve whatever level we want in this hobby, as long as we just remain a strong team, strong brotherhood. Like I said, sky's the limit, brother. I love doing this with you, bro. It's a joy.
Yeah, man. Me too. I love it, man. So, again, thank you guys to everybody. Thank you, Scarecrow. I appreciate you, bro. But let's take this thing out like how we always take it out.
Take them out the only way you know how.
May your crits be high, your paint never dry, and your rolls ever reckless.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to Rolling Recklessly, where the battle lines meet the sky. May your crits be high, may your paint never dry, and your rolls be ever reckless. Oh, yeah. Your rolls be ever reckless. Roll 'em if you got 'em.